Alright, what's going on, chat? How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you tuning in early. Making sure I don't get started too late, so we can try and make Keith happy. I hope everyone's doing well. Looks like we're dropping a little frames here and there, but it's not too bad. Hopefully everything's good. Mic check. Turn this down. Mic check, mic check. How are we looking? You guys been lagging a little bit, or we've been okay? We dropped a little bit of frames, but it seems to be okay. It happened the other day while we were streaming, but wasn't terrible. Yo, what's going on, Gene? How's it going, dude? I hope you're doing well. It's good to see you in here. Hope the family's doing good. And Klovek, what's going on, dude? How you doing? What's up? What's up? What do you call it? Appreciate everyone tuning in. All right, we're looking good. Hope everyone's doing well. What's going on here? Let me deactivate, reactivate. Haha, fixes all in the world of OBS. Using my old Vice head right now. Make sure we're in 1080p, not 4K. Okay, good. I was doing some filming earlier. Preparing for tomorrow's event of tabletop gaming. Nice. Sounds good. Yeah, my table has, if you guys can see, radar dishes and farm. We're working on American stuff because I have a sponsored video we're filming this Sunday for Conflict 47. So, very exciting stuff. But tonight we're doing some fly tie-in. I figured we'd keep tying some summertime stuff. Gotta get out and do some fishing eventually. Been busy with YouTube stuff, some fly tying for businesses and all that, and then other stuff in the background. But all right, what do you call it? That being said, my buddy Tim got a really nice fish on a mole crab fly, so I was thinking we could probably play around. I wouldn't mind messing around with some like crustacean type stuff and maybe some smaller bait fish, maybe some nighttime bait fish stuff. We're just gonna wing it as usual. I don't have any specific plans. I just want to tie some flies for myself. I gotta go ship some stuff out to the post office, including some giveaway stuff, and then next week we have our giveaway, so. Got some smaller hooks we'll break out. 2 odds, 1 odds. This is an empty box of Gamakatsu. Get rid of that. And we have 4 odds there, but where are my size 2? It's a tiny little Gamakatsu box. We got some 1 odds. I'll take those. Let me get some dumbbell eyes. Should have. Oh, my dumbbell eyes are over here. Because I slightly organized everything. Again, I appreciate everyone tuning in. Here we go. Got some different sized dumbbell eyes we can use for some like crabby type stuff. Do I have any over here? No. Okay. Got some here. Preferably, I'd like a larger orange one, but that's fine. I know I have them. Where? God only knows. Somewhere. I think it's in the bag with all of the crab stuff. I'm gonna have to take a look. Let me actually see real quick. See, that is the problem. I organize stuff, and now I don't know where half the stuff is because I was used to it being an absolute disaster, but that's okay. Now things are too organized. I have the issue of. All right, let's try one of these size 1 O'Shaughnessy's. Give us some room to work with. A little bit smaller hook. You know what? Let me swap over to my nice Regal head. This is the old one. This is the new one. I have to apply some, like, cleaner, though, to it. Because I live right by the bay, and there's so much salt. And it's been so humid that it affects everything. My guitar strings rust so bad. Sucks. Alright. So I got these little orange brass eyes. I'm gonna try and do some like mole crab related activities to start, I think. I had some really nice big orange dumbbell eyes. Let me see. Just don't know where they went. Oh. Those are the smaller ones that we're using. The mystery of the missing dumbbell eyes, God only knows. What's my thread situation? What are we cooking with right now? White? I should probably switch over to orange, to be honest with you. I think that's what we're gonna do. Oh, they're pretty light hook here because we don't have crazy dumbbell eyes. That should be heavy enough, hopefully. And we're still dropping a little frames here and there, unfortunately. I don't know what's going on. The other day it was happening because I think there was a storm, but right now it's just intermittently like losing a little bit of frames. So hopefully it's not too bad on your guys' end. What's going on, Zeke? I hope you're doing well. So I do have some new fly time videos that I'm getting ready. I'm waiting until I have like 3 or 4 videos done and fully edited, and then I'm going to release them because I've been like slacking. So instead of just releasing one like, you know, here and there, I'm going to wait and then get back to the groove of it. That's what I've learned in my YouTube days. So I'm going to kind of get the channel ready and then start pumping stuff out again. I think I'm going to have a nice little... Gotta find a balance between the two channels. Nice. How you been, Zeke? What's going on? You been doing any fishing? Post your flies and your fishing photos in the Discord as usual, chat. I saw Yumi posted Calvin's flies. Gives us something to look at on Discord on Friday nights. Yeah, dude, it's tough. I spent 3 days doing the Gaslands battle report, and I got less than 100 views in a day, which for my battle reports are really bad. So that was pretty disheartening. But you know, it happens. That was one of my favorite battle reports I've done in a while, and they got the like least amount of views out of any video I've made on that channel, other than the Warhammer battle report. So. But I gotta start pumping out some fly tying stuff. This Sunday we're filming a game for Mike Rolls Dice. It's our first sponsored video, hopefully, so... A little bit of motion. Okay, we got our dumbbell eye on there. I'm gonna try and tie it pretty sparse. So I gotta ask Don specifically, but he uses this gun cleaning lubricant or gun like preservative, and it's something with a number, but I don't know what it is. It's not CLP, and it's not like it's something with a number. I forgot what it's called, but I think you can use like a gun cleaning oil or some sort of metal preservative. You know, like a what do you call it? Honestly, I was using some CLP and some other gun cleaning stuff I have that from like a Hoppers kit and stuff. But I gotta ask him what he uses specifically. I'm sure you probably could use some Hops gun cleaning preservative. Just get a cloth, like an actual rag, and soak, you know, get a spot, soak it, and then wipe all the metal, like the raw metal parts with it. And clean it from time to time. Because my hands sweat really bad. So I have to do it to this one. It's starting to get a tiny bit of like surface rust. But also I live right by the water and it's so humid and there's so much salt in the air, and I have my windows open all the time during the summertime. It's raining, so. But particularly my hands are, like, my sweat is somewhat corrosive, unfortunately. We found out from my guitar strings rusting more so than other people. Alright. It seems to be that way, though, unfortunately, for me. Flukin's been good. Gotta try more with the fly. Yeah, take some just heavy flies and fish them. Heavy flies. Let's put something natural off the back. What could we do? Maybe like a little rabbit strip would be nice. I don't know if I have tan though. Used to do Fallout New Vegas content and got 2,000 views, and then I switched to Conflict and I get under 100. Yeah, Fallout's like a much bigger media platform in general, right? So I get that. But for instance, for me, if I don't do anything that's not conflict related on Mike Rolls Dice, does generally not very good compared to the conflict content, because that's kind of what I started out with and specialized. Certain stuff like one-page rules and maybe like Trench Crusade and other games that have a lot of motion or a lot of popularity do good, but I'm pretty lucky. Like, my fly time videos do pretty good in general. But I'd say the ones that do the best in the fly time wise are my topic videos, for instance. So I got to do more of those, but those take so much time. But those are like definitely the most I'd say people want to watch are those videos. We're gonna go with some natural hair. I think it's like some badger or something. I don't know. Somebody gave me this a while ago, and I've been wanting to use it. I'm pretty certain it's like badger hair. I think it was some dude that was giving a tour or like giving a little talk about carp fishing in the Great Lake, or in the the Great Lakes, like Michigan. And he was tying with like fox hair and like badger and stuff, and he was tying these little carp flies that looked pretty much like a little mole crab, little, crab fly essentially. It's pretty interesting. Go a little tufted badger off the back. That's true. I mean, I'm pretty lucky that for the most part on like Li Flies Mike in particular, it's like people just want to watch fly time and fly fishing content, but I make it to a certain standard, I hope. With Mike Rolls Dice, it seems to be very specific to what games I'm covering. Because if somebody doesn't play a game, they're less likely to watch a video on it. So I got some really cool ideas for fly tying and fly fishing videos, particularly fly fishing videos, and not going out and fishing, but making like how to fish certain areas and how to fish certain structures and stuff. I think that's going to be the next big thing. It's going to be part of our like striped bass fishing series, if you will. I don't know if I'm going to keep like calling it the like fly fishing for striped bass, FFSB or whatever I was calling it. All right. So now we can start building up a little, or let's take a little marabou out. Let's just kind of get funky with it. Or I do have some Sentinel's Laser Dub, and I'm lazy, so I'm going to grab that. Because it's right here. The good thing is, like, for Mike Rolls Dice, the Turkish, like, conflict, or some of the hobby videos do okay. Along with filming the ballyhoo fly video I recorded, because I had to paint it for this weekend for the game we're filming. The George Washington Kit Bash. So I filmed that in 4K, and I'm going to be explaining the lore of the character and mostly just making like a fairly short and quick to the point video of Kit Bash and painting it. So we'll see how it does. So YouTube's a fickle bitch. Cool with the mole crab pattern. Great bait and fly down here on the Outer Banks. Yeah, I mean, you can use this for carp in freshwater. You just take this. I mean, it's just like a generic sort of like buggy fly, right? But if you're like sight fishing in particular, then in the surf, or you're throwing flies in the troughs in the surf, this is a great fly because there's a ton of mole crabs up and down the East Coast and whatnot. It's just an easy meal because they get washed out into the deeper water where the fish are waiting for them, you know? And we're just going to do like some simple V-ties. Maybe find something fluffy and orange for the belly, but I don't want to put too much materials. I think I'm going to keep it pretty sparse, honestly, because I got a light dumbbell eye on here. There's been a guide on the flats. A guy at a marina said some bass there. I haven't caught a bass almost 2 weeks. I mean, did you see South Fork Salt? Are you following him on Instagram? Zeke, you should be. He's my buddy Timmy. He does all the drone flying stuff. He had like a freaking, I'm not even joking, it had to be well over 25 pounds, it looked like, on a mole crab in the middle of the day while people were swimming on the other side of the trough. But yeah, I don't know. It's the time of year where there's like not a lot of fish. But he had a nice fish right in the surf, man. But Timmy's like a die-hard fishing dude. I've lost my steam over the years. I got to get my mojo back when it comes to actually getting out there. I'm just so busy all the time. Yeah, go check it out. Go follow him on Instagram right now, South Fork Salt. Go watch the video. Or one of his most recent posts or something. A photo of him holding up a fish. He's a fishy dude. One thing I don't like is he's not a fly snob like me. He'll pick up a spinning rod in 2 seconds if he has to. We were fishing in the surf. He's like, there's fish out there. He runs and grabs a spinning rod. I'm like, heresy. What is this? So quick to abandon your own people for further casting reach. I'm just fucking around. He's a really cool dude. Highly recommend checking him out. He has some cool videos too. Check him out on YouTube. South Fork Salt. Good mole crab fishing video. Yeah, we met him at the show. That's my buddy Timmy. Good memory. Yeah. Yeah, we're dropping a little frames here and there. How bad is it, chat? I feel like every time I look over to my YouTube dashboard, I see it a little bit, or my Twitch one. But how bad is it? The numbers don't seem that bad for the amount of frames dropped. But let me know. We're definitely dropping little frames here and there. All right. What can we do to finish it off that's funky and different? I don't know. Let's trim it. I'm gonna tie off for now. Let's trim it, and then we'll come back and revisit. That way we can just have a clean canvas. Not noticeable? Okay. Yeah, he does have some good videos. I recommend checking it out. Some good videos on fishing and explaining some stuff. He does a lot of surf fishing because he used to live like right on the ocean, further east of me. So he had like crazy fishing and drone filming and stuff. So he was in a sweet spot. We'll probably find some sort of natural material to tie further in the front, or maybe some Senos or something. Oh, one video I want to do is the Holy Moly crab fly, or not the Holy Moly, that's the one Timmy was covering. The what's the name of the lady crab fly that Alan Gallo ties? Gallo. Is it what's the name of that one? The lady crab fly. The one that Calvin you were posting pictures of. I think you were talking to him about it. That's a fun one I wanted to tie. And I was gonna order on Amazon because now I can do it on Amazon. I don't have to go in person and get nail polish. I was gonna get pink nail polish to like paint the hook, like in his like he does in his book. That might be a little too much though. What the hell am I gonna do? But I kind of wanted to do it just because it'd be funny, and also he did it in the book as a little like hey, you can do this with a fly, by the way. I'm just kind of shaping the body. I can't even see that side of the vise the way I'm sitting. I'm just kind of going off feel. Done a lot of Senos laser dub trimming in my ears. I'm trying to shape the shell profile a little bit, you know what I mean? And not make it too wide as well, because I want to keep it pretty sparse. Now we'll tie something natural on top. The Pink Lady. That's what it's called. The Pink Lady. Yep. You need lawn webby hackle for carapace. Yeah, I'll take a look. I don't know if I have the right materials at the moment to make a video, but seeing him just drifting fly technique and casting. So what? Just like, you mean on the flats, or you mean drifting in a boat and casting, or you mean on the flats sight fishing and like drifting the fly sight fishing, or you know what I mean, like poling, or are they just drifting on the flats throwing flies? Maybe I could do something like this. Yeah, I'm starting to get the itch to go fishing again, so I'm gonna get out there here at some point. I'm starting to go stir crazy, being inside all the time. Nice and simple, nothing too crazy. I think I could do one more though, like a little tie here of this fluff. I think this is also going to help turn it over, this natural material, which is nice, you know what I mean? Give it like a slight little baby buoyancy. Let's whip finish. Throw a little head cement. And again, this is not a specific pattern. This is just like some V-Tide material, me trying to do something mole crab-esque. Little freestyle fly tying. It's not that bad. From beach casting into rip current. Gotcha. You talking about for the guide and the flats fishing? Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, there's definitely probably some fish to be had, even though the fishing sucks, but it's alright. I usually wait till the fishing sucks and then I start fishing again. Classic. Looks like my head cement's downstairs, so that's okay. I'll take a tiny bit of super glue though and put it on the tippy top of the dumbbell eyes to make sure it's not gonna fall off if I smack it. Yeah, it's made to look like something called a mole crab, which, just in case anyone doesn't know, I'm sure most of you do, but Clobeck doesn't, so I'll show you guys. And you can fry them and eat them too. That's what they look like. Kind of tannish, grayish, orange eggs. And fish eat them. And they bury in the sand. You can also fry them and eat them. People fry them and eat them. They get pretty big, though. There's some sort of, like, crustacean that lives in the sand. Oh, South Fork salt. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, Timmy's fishy, for sure. He knows what he's doing. He likes his two-handed rods, too, which I really like. It's fun. A little orange for the eggs. Looks like a small hatching of murlocs from Fallout. Yeah, people do eat them. I don't. Apparently, some people do, though. Apparently, you can fry them and eat them. It's like eating like a freaking shrimp or something, you know? You just eat the whole thing with the shell and everything. Freaks. No, this probably tastes really good, honestly. We used to catch them as kids in the sand. We used to get freaked out, and then when you get older, you used to catch them. Because you would see them, they live in the sand. So when you're at the beach, they're crawling around under your feet. You don't even know they're there. Let's whip up another one. Because I always like having a couple. So it's like popular this time of year. Because it's summertime. That's when the mole crabs are kind of peak. And the fish are in the surf. If you can find clear water with like some shallow enough on Long Island, you can do sight fishing like Timmy was. It's pretty tough. Like it seems like on my side of the inlet, the beaches are fairly steep, so it can be tough. But I'm gonna try. You know, one of these days I'm gonna go out there, look like an asshole with a fly rod in the middle of the day when there's people swimming, and look for some bass. Schlappen sucks everywhere. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why Mark stopped using Schlappen hackle in his slammers. It's like impossible to find good Schlappen hackle. I don't know what happened. I think like the prime birds died out in like a bird flu epidemic or something. I don't know what happened. Or they stopped caring about Schlappen hackle. They're like, Schlappen hackle equals shit hackle nowadays. Back in the day, you used to get really nice Schlappen hackle. You just get the good shit. All right. I kind of want to use something different. Maybe we'll go with like a little feathers off the back just for fun, even though it's not very mole crabby. Or you know what? Let's use some rubber legs. I see him peeking down over here. We might as well. Schlappen. Schallenpn. It's like a big webby hackle. More orange, more beta. Oh, what we could do is we could just listen to at some point here. Let's switch over to one of my tracks. It's literally just two guitars tracked left and right looped. So it's nothing crazy, but we got to start transitioning over to original chill music for fly tying, because I'm going to stop using Epidemic Sound eventually. So I need to like make some like 20-minute long tracks or something. Actually used first song in a Mike Rolls Dice video, so that's cool. I gotta find the right one for a fly tying. I gotta do a chill fly tying one. And right there, we dropped a pretty good amount of frames right there. It's like our connection's like dipping and it's coming back up. I don't know what's going on. Luckily, it doesn't seem to be too obtrusive, but let's hope it stays somewhat stable. I don't know what's going on though. Damn you, Optimum! Damn you as usual. Rascallions. Classic. We're gonna go with a little, you know what? Kind of want this to be like, can we just V-tie this on top? Let's do it. Try this time. Slightly different approach. For kind of the same result-ish. Also ensuring the material's on top, so it's gonna, on top, quote unquote, it's gonna flip this over, like that. I keep forgetting to do the dual stream thing for vertical for YouTube. It means I don't have to worry about the camera at least. Maybe do another rubber leg here, like this. A little greedy. I was gonna wait till later, but I'm freeballing it as usual. Alright, well screw you. I don't even want that leg. I'll replace one. Keep it even, Stevens. How's my mic too? Is it too loud? We good? Mic check, mic check. No, we're good. Okay. Yo, what's going on, Ben? What fly is this? We're just whipping up some random mole crab type flies. I usually, unless I'm tying something very specific, I usually just kind of, the flies I tie when we're on stream are generally like an amalgamation of tons of different flies I've learned over the years. But we're just taking some, we're just tying a mole crab. We got some like badger, Sentinel's laser dub, some synthetics. I don't think I'm going to use slinky fiber this time. I've been using it a lot, so I want to try some other materials. I like this badger stuff though, and I'm using kind of the shit hair that's kind of smaller, so pardon my French. I just don't know how buoyant this is going to be. I'm trying to keep it sparse, I guess. It's pretty fluffy, so it kind of goes a long way when it comes to building up size, if you will. Just kind of do some V-ties here. And focus it on the underside of the hook, which is now the top side of the hook. We got the nice orange, and even though rubber legs aren't necessarily a mole crab thing, it's fun, and it'll hopefully entice a fish to eat. Now, one thing I'm thinking is, let's try something completely different. And this will work. I was looking. Oh, this is Grande Estaz. Where's my Estaz? Aha, here it is. Do a little Estaz wrap. Like that, keeping everything organized, chat. My Estaz bag, my Senno's laser bag, my this bag, that bag. Trying to stay somewhat organized. It's the most organized my fly time material's ever been in my life. And stayed that way. Usually I organize it and then it goes to shit after a while. It gets all messy. Whoop. Thank God this is not a full bottle of super glue and thin. Kind of do like 2 wraps, tie off, tie some more, 2 wraps, tie off. Gonna miss the Epidemic sound music for the stream, but I can't justify paying $20 a month just to listen to this stuff while we stream on one channel. I got some good tunes, but I think we'll be alright. Let's take some more of the Badger. Those eyes are nice. Are they from Chris? Yes. They are hairline. They're just brass eyes, but the hot orange brass eyes, medium size. Oh yeah. Everything you see on the channel is pretty much from Chris. Saltwaterflies.com, folks. Even though we're not officially sponsored or anything like that, I've been tying flies for him for years, even though we pretty much stopped. But I've been buying materials, or most of my materials from Chris for, I can't even tell you now, since the late 90s. Since dial-up internet days, let's just say. So it's been quite a journey. Oh yeah, this is nice. You got that orange staz underneath, but now you're creating like a veil. You know what I mean? I prefer chaos. People call it, you call it your way of organizing. Fair. To be, I will say I'm still very chaos orientated. Like, I'm the sort of dude where if I put something down 2 years ago, like on a bench, a workbench somewhere in the basement, if somebody moved it, then I won't be able to find it. You know, that sort of thing. Which is, people hate, but, you know, it is what it is. But because I work fly tying for a living, I have to keep it a little bit more organized just because I can't be wasting 20 minutes looking for something. And it's also in my, all this stuff's in my room, so. Working on having less of a, or getting more, getting my room to where I want it so I don't lose my mind working from home all day. That was a while ago. I'm getting old. Getting old. I remember playing StarCraft for the first time on computer and it blew my mind, dude. It's crazy. We had like E-Bombs World and all those like dumb websites we used to watch. I remember we had a computer class in school. It was like revolutionary where we had to learn typing. Everybody was like, oh my god, we got computers in the school. We were doing like Macbeth's typing program or something, I remember, whatever the hell that thing was called. Well, I don't know how old that is. I'm 35, so. I used to look a little younger. Now I think age is starting to catch up with me a little bit more. But I still have to ID every time I get alcohol, essentially. I have like a little bit of a baby face thing going on, you know? But soon enough, I'll get enough wrinkles in my face to where people will be like, ooh, don't worry. Once they start, like, this is when you know it's bad. And right now, like, I go and get, like, beer or something or, like, alcohol. They're like, oh, let me see an ID. Unless I know the, like, I go to the Bev that where I've grown up and I know the dude that owns the place. He knows me by name. So he doesn't need to ID me. But if I go to, like, a 7-Eleven or somewhere and they're always like, they're like, oh, ID. And I'm like, nice. Don't look too old yet. But then when it's like, you know, if you ever go to take your ID out and they're like, don't worry about it. That's when you know you're in trouble. Because if I shave my beard, like 100% I get ID'd every single time, right? With the beard, it's a little different. But, yeah, I'm worried for when they, like, if I shave my beard and I go to get beer at some random place and they're like, put your ID away. That's when I'll know I'll be in trouble. I'm like, oh, God, I really must be. Yeah, age is showing now. Don't worry about it. We also dropped frames in the middle of my speech, so it's perfect. Pretty much, if you ever go to take your wallet out and you get ID'd and they're like, don't worry about it. That's when you know maybe you're losing your touch. You're not losing your touch. You're growing into your wisdom years. We'll call it. That's all. We got ads. We dropped frames. We got it all. Woohoo! Round of applause. Yeah, I'm looking. It's like, let me watch the stream for a sec. Let me see how it looks. It's weird. My bitrate's jumping from 4,500 to 3,500 back and forth constantly, which is really crazy. There's been a lot of weird stuff going on with the internet recently. Let me take a look at let me watch the stream real quick. It looks to be okay. How's it looking? It kind of looks like shit in this web camera angle. What does it look like on the fly? Because I'm seeing my bitrate jumping, but it seems to be stable enough to where it's not affecting the stream too much. Alright. It's weird. Something weird's going on with my internet right now. Kids see it as an adults over 30, 40 see me as a kid. That's all right though. It's maybe you don't like it now. When you get to be your mid 30s or 40s or whatever, you're older, you won't mind. Because I got some buddies that look old as shit. You know what I mean? Most of my friends, I mean, I feel like we're aging at a pretty regular rate. But you know how some of your buddies, they just like some dudes just they age quick. They turn into like a dad in like their 30s or something, you know? Yep. All right. Like, you don't even have kids. Yeah. But hey, nothing wrong with it. I'm gonna brush out this badger. Last time you heard that sentence. Now this is nice. I like this. This is a funky little mole crab fly. Maybe just cut these. I kind of like two of the legs sticking out a little bit. Again, it's not super realistic, the rubber legs, but... Yeah, well, believe me, drinking will do a hell of a lot to you. I drink a little bit here and there, but some folks go pretty hard on it, and you could tell. Alcohol is no bueno, especially in large amounts. I mean, I'm down for a nice little cocktail or a beer or something, but yeah, you don't want to be getting drunk and drinking too much and regularly and all that stuff. No good, no good. What's going on, Jim? How's it going, dude? I hope you're doing well. Yo, Clovek, thank you for the Euro super chat. Appreciate that, my friend. Get some damn, it's a little loud. Get some Ally Flies hearts. I think we got Ally Flies hearts in this bitch, right? No, we don't. Oh, I gotta add some more emotes to this. Yes, my father is Turkish. All right. Let's keep on whipping up. I actually really like that. So I'm going to try a different material this time. Oh, this is Badger, so I wonder what the hell this was. Might also be Badger. I don't know. I think this guy also gave me this bag of Badger hair. That was the nice thing about being a young kid at a fly tying club. People would just give you free shit. Oh, yeah, Muslims can't drink. Mm-hmm. And, what do you call it? Christians can't do this, and Catholics can't do that. Do you think you could follow a religion and not have to do every single thing, as it says exactly? People can practice religions how they want. It's not like if you drink. You ever been to Turkey? You ever had rakah before? What do you think it makes people not Muslim just because they decide to have rakah? Maybe if you go to Saudi Arabia or something. There's different levels of how people practice religions. The way I think you should practice religion is you should do it how you'd like to do it and the way you think is right. Yeah, I'll tell you what, there's a hell of a lot of people, I'll just say this right now, that are practicing Islam wrong. I'll just say that. As a Muslim myself, there's a bunch of people that give Muslims a bad name because there's fucking assholes out there. As a kid who had to grow up after 9/11 and shit, fucking get into a fight on the basketball court. Luckily, though, I stood my ground. I stood my business. Like, Mike's Muslim. They're like, motherfucker, Mike's American, bro. What are you talking about? He'll kick your ass in Pokemon, Super Mario Kart, whatever you want. Some kid was, like, trying to give me a problem or something. It was, like, right after the Twin Towers fell, like, a couple days after. I was like, bitch, I was in the class. I watched the tower fall on TV. So I've been dealing with that shit all my life. I've had people try and tell me all sorts of crazy things about Muslims. I'm like, because they don't even know because I'm white. They're like, he's white. He can't be Muslim. And it's all like half my friends that are Catholic or Christian, they don't practice, they call themselves Christian or Catholic, but they don't like strictly adhere to the Bible in every sense. You know, they're not out there stoning people or some shit. So I think people should practice religions in the way that they think is the right way, and the way I think religion should be practiced is you treat people in a particular way, you treat them the way you want to be treated and all that, and live your life by a certain standard, whether it's Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, Catholicism, you know, Judaism. There's that meaning in most religions. There's other things in there as well, but in every religion. That's generally the good side of religion. So it depends on what you want to focus on. A lot of it just falls under a certain guise or veil, but the meaning is kind of there. And I'm not super religious either, but anyways, thanks, Klovek. Now shut the fuck up. All right. Jesus. All right, fucking watch this guy. He's fucking Muslim. Thanks for outing me. I'm just fucking around. Damn right, we eat sujuk around here, right? And we don't call it gyros. It's called a doner kebab, all right? This is a Turkish stream. I don't want to hear any of that Greek bullshit, all right? Where they grind the lamb up into a giant-ass meatball, wrap it on a skewer like it's a freaking corn dog, and then cook it that way, okay? If we're eating doner kebabs, give me cuts of lamb, like thick cuts of lamb, or thin, layered on a skewer, slowly cooked and cut that way. That's a real freaking doner kebab, okay? None of this Greek nonsense. Grinding up the lamb, mixing beef in there. Bullshit. That's what they do here in the U.S. That's why you cannot go to a Turkish place and get a watered-down doner kebab. I say watered down because a lot of Greek places, they'll do like 80% beef because it's cheaper and like 20% lamb. Boo! That's not a real gyro. I still call it a gyro. Even though I'm Turkish, I should be saying doner kebabs. I'm just American, so I say gyros. But I've learned my lesson. I was like, dude, I grew up eating Turkish doner kebabs, gyros, and then I go to some Greek place. I'm like, what the hell is this? What the fuck is this? It's like a freaking meatball that they shaved. Learned my lesson. Now, certain Greek food, though, is fire. Because a lot of Greek food is like the same thing as Turkish food, essentially. Both are the same because they're literally right next door. Some Greek food's pretty good. But man, that Turkish food, sheesh. I could die for a good, like, Iskender kebab or something. Say no more. I'm going to mix some of the gray fox or badger with this light badger. We're going to mix the colors up. Kind of go for like a little light whitish color, then a gray, and then back and forth. Oh, you know what? We got to introduce the Astaz much earlier, though. Yeah, I had a buddy growing up in high school. One of my best friends in high school was Greek, so we always used to just make fun of each other. He'd be talking smack on Turkish food, like, that's not real. Real gyros like this. I'm like, nah, doner kebabs. And we'd just be like arguing for like an hour. While our other friends would like, what the hell are they talking about? But you lay black olives and some feta cheese in front of us. Demolish it in seconds. Doesn't matter whether they're Greek or Turkish. You know what I mean? But then again, that's America for you. I'm a Muslim. I've dated a Jewish girl. Turkish, best friends with a Greek. Every culture, every, all that. It's a big melting pot, this place. That's why whenever people ask, are you this or are you that? I say, I'm American first. Okay? That's my number one identity. That's what really represents who I am and what I believe and all that. You know what I mean? That's where my loyalty lies over everything else. Over, like, whether I'm half Turkish, my religion, this, that, or what sort of culture, what sort of things I like to do, whatever. I don't know. I'm a product of this damn country. Well, no, I didn't date a Hasidic Jew. What kind of Jew? I don't know. The regular kind? The one from Long Island? What does it matter, Klovek? You Slovakians, you care too much. There's a Long Island kind of Jew. That's the kind I was dating. Introduced me to matzo ball soup, which absolutely love. Love me a good matzo ball soup nowadays. I was very ignorant. I was like, that probably is disgusting. Because it's like mead. It's like a thing. But no, dude, it's just good old chicken stock with like a dumpling in it. It's like a Jewish dumpling. I love matzo ball soup. And to be fair, anything kind of kosher is like pretty. I mean, technically not. I mean, somewhere in the world, a Jew and a Muslim's going crazy. But it's like the same thing as halal. And one's from an imam, the other one's from a rabbi. Oh, shit. The main thing is, I don't want to be eating stuff that's mixed with pork. That's one thing I have stayed true to, is just not eating pork. And it's almost less of a religious thing. I feel like it's more of a health thing. I'm like, yeah, sure, I won't eat pork. But that means I had to miss out on, like, pepperoni pizza at parties over the years as a kid growing up and this and that. But it's probably good for my health that I never got into, like, eating bacon and ribs and shit. You know what I mean? I'm getting a warning from YouTube. My stream is lagging quite a lot. So it seems we're dropping quite a bit of frames right now. Get a little bit of fur on here. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's kind of like being an American, though. It's like you don't judge people based on their looks or their religion, their ethnicity. At least the way I was raised growing up. You judge people on their character. You know what I mean? Which is a good thing, I think. That's the way I try to live my life, at least. Nowadays with like TikTok, I don't know what the hell's going on, what they're teaching people, but or what the hell humanity's going to be like 20 years from now. I think everyone's just going to hate each other because social media. All right, we're going to V-tie this here. Well, Klovak, you really ruined the freaking vibe. I mean, to be fair, you're the only one chatting, so. I'm just fucking around. There we go. That looks nice. We gotta brush it out. That thick underfur I use fox belly looks incredible when wet. Great carapace for crayfish. Should be great for the mole crab and the salt. Tie it thick. Ah, interesting. I didn't want to tie it too thick because I still want it to like kind of sink. But I'll try and tie one. I'll try and tie one a little bit more prevalent. I think that's a good amount though. You're saying though it's like it's got a nice translucent property when wet. Almost kind of like polar bearish, how it reacts in the water, you know what I mean? Yeah, well, look, Klovak, don't, look, keep it, what do you call it? Keep it polite and keep things, relaxed. Don't bring up, look, we shouldn't even talk, this is my number one rule. I mean, it was fine. You're asking me, like, oh, are you Muslim? All right, it's fine. But don't disparage any sort of race, religion, or anything in the chat. That's a chat rule. If you violate it, I'll time you out or something like that. All right. So yeah, why don't you take a break? All right. That's just a rule in general for chats. You shouldn't be talking about stuff in general. All right. That's a chat rule. Just be polite. I don't have the rule. In fact, I'm gonna figure that out. There should be a thing that when you click on the stream for the first time, it has. I never had that set up for YouTube, so we technically don't have the rules thing, but usually it's a common sense thing. You know what I mean? Most of the time our chat's pretty chill, but keep it polite, keep it civil. Everybody has opinions and beliefs and all that, but be nice to others. That's our chat rule. Don't be a dumbass. All right, this looks good. There's too much of that already on the internet nowadays, so we're here to tie flies and chill. We can chat. Nothing wrong with chatting. Keep it polite and civil. The last material, Chris, what do you call it? So the last material, there's two, and I'm not 100% certain. I'm actually kind of on the fence. I think it's gray fox. I think this is fox right here, but this right here, the last one, is badger. So both of these were given to me by somebody who like wrote a book on carp fishing years and years and years ago. It was like giving presentations on fly fishing for carp, sight fishing. So it's I remember he gave me like red fox hair. I think this is like some sort of gray fox, if I'm not wrong, or something like it. I'm not really 100% certain. What do you guys think? I think it's a gray fox hair is what it is. I thought it was badger at first, but then I looked. This is an actual bag of badger hair, so you could see the classic sort of like badger striping hair on there, you know? Like a grizzly effect or something. Yeah, you gotta read the room, though, Klovak, is all. Don't be like, I learned of the Jews that day after talking to an IDF soldier or something, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta chill out, bro. Matzo ball soup slaps? Hell yeah, dude. Unfortunately, I didn't really. There's not really too much other like Jewish food I was introduced to, because she was kind of like, "Yeah, I'm Jewish," and I'm like, "Could you tell me about the religion?" She's like, "Nope." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I think she would even eat pork sometimes. So again, people practice religions in the way they want, but I would like to try more Jewish food over time. I've tried a lot of different food, Moroccan food, Indian food, Pakistani food, um, tons of different South American food. That's the great thing about living in the States, dude. There's so many different restaurants and stuff. Look, Klovak, it doesn't matter. Just drop it. All right? Doesn't matter. Okay? Yes, Moroccan food is very good. I thought that was Arctic Fox coming from a Spade background. I have more Arctic Fox here. We could compare it. It just, it honestly looks a little, it's pretty thick on the patch. Look, how about this? No talking religion or politics whatsoever, okay? How about that? That's the new rule. Which it kind of already was, but you guys would ask certain things I'd answer. But nope, now we're done all together. Thank you for reminding me, Klovek. This is goat hair. Ah, here we go. Here's fox hair. Oh, it's definitely fox hair. I usually get it in smaller batches. This is like a really big chunk, honestly, he gave me. And this right here, what the hell is this? David Nelson gave me this. And I think this is like some sort of... Oh shit, this is just like really nice rabbit strips. I thought this was fucking something else. Is that rabbit strips? This might be like cross-cut fox hair. Damn, that's sick. Okay. I've never even taken that out of the package. Yeah, David Nelson from Squimpish Flies sent me this a while ago. I think it's like a cross-cut fox hair, which I've never even seen. It's a actual palmerable. That's a hard word to say. You can palmer like fox hair. There's no way that's rabbit. Not the guard hairs, but the under hair. Oh, the under fur you're talking about. The straight up fluff. Also, Joe, what's going on, dude? I haven't seen you for a little while. Crosscut fin raccoon. Oh, that's what it is. Crosscut fin raccoon. Okay, okay. You just know what it is. I was wondering what it is. There's nothing on here. Softer? Alright, the fur are soft, much easier to tie than hard, slippery hair such as squirrel tail. They compress readily, and so they keep bulk build up at minimum. Because of their soft texture, a little looks like a lot, so using large amounts isn't necessary. The action in the water is superb, especially with the zonker strips, because of the thin hides. Ah, so it's like, as opposed to a rabbit strip, you get generally a much thicker hide, so when you palmer it on the hook, you're getting that hide, which affects the way that the fly swims and the action in the water. So this fin raccoon stuff is like super thin, the hide. Yeah, this was given to me from David Nelson. That's why a lot of this stuff I just kind of keep, because it's kind of cool. People give me stuff over the years, and I'm like, ooh, I could do something with that. His whole thing, if you guys don't know Squimpish Flies, you should really check out Squimpish Hair. His whole thing is mixing salmon, like Atlantic salmon and steelhead fly tying with modern day striper flies. And that's really sick. That's why he's one of my favorite fly tyers that are still living to this day. It's David Nelson. You tie your bonito bunny with crosscut on body. Yeah. That's how I do it with the rabbit, Jim. The fin coon is somewhat hard to tie in normally. If you do a loop and UV glue it. So you do like a dubbing loop where you trim it off of the hide. Gotcha. Well, the thing is, though, you guys are also tying salmon flies. We have the luxury of, like, a lot of times we're tying on, like, big-ass saltwater hooks, and the weight and the keel of it, you can actually get away with. Like, even a small bonito bunny, you're going to be palmering rabbit strips on the hook. And the rabbit strip itself does, the hide itself does affect how the fly swims and everything. You know what I mean? So, for sure, there's, like, but I get what you're saying. There's been times where if a strip's been too thick or like it wasn't cut properly, it kind of like drastically changes how the fly swims. But you can use that to your benefit. If you want buoyancy in the fly, you can have more hide, for instance, or something. You can just palmer more, you know. Yo, what's going on, Adam? Hope you're doing well. What do you call it? All right. I'm running low on my drink. Dude, we've lost like 12,000 frames. So 4% of the stream has lagged so far tonight. But it's like just enough to where it's not that bad, I think. So hopefully it's okay. We've been streaming for a little bit. We whipped up a couple mole crabs, but we're going to keep on tying some stuff. Maybe we could mess with some really small juvenile, what do you call it, fluke flies and things like that. So how many frames? It's like 11,000 frames or whatever, but it's all dependent on how many frames per second you're streaming at, and you know, also I guess it depends on your bitrate loss and all that. But I mean, it's like 4% of that. What really matters is not the number; it's the 4%. So it's not terrible. Hopefully, it's like been okay on your guys' end. But I'm just watching the numbers every once in a while because my streamer eyes keeps track on it from over the years. All right, we are going to take a quick break though. I need to grab another drink. Okay. So, because I'm sitting here yapping, and I'm going to get cotton mouth eventually. So, I'm going to grab a drink real quick. We're going to play our Albie highlight as usual. And when I get back, we're going to whip up some more little crustacean-y summertime flies, if you will. So, I appreciate everybody hanging out. Hydration break, that's right. Yes, yes, yes. Also, appreciate you tuning in, Adam, Chris, everybody. Joe, too. It's good to see you, dude. I hope you've been well. What do you call it? Hopefully you've been having a good summer, my friend. All right. We'll take a quick little break here, chat. Stretch break. So I'll see you folks in a second, all right? Appreciate everybody hanging out. Oh, wrong thing. Would love to see some albie flies. Oh, it's coming up. Albie fly season's coming up. So we're going to be covering albie flies probably starting in August to get ready for albie season. So, but we have, I mean, dude, we have so many videos on the channel you can watch for albie flies, so it'll keep you busy in the meanwhile. But we will start covering albie flies in videos, and probably albie fishing. I'd like to do an albie, like, start focusing on albie fishing a lot. To be honest with you, striped bass fishing's been terrible. I used to catch 100 bass, more, whatever, I wouldn't keep track throughout the year. It's getting to where I'm catching less than like 5 fish a year at times because I'm so busy, and it's just the fishing's been terrible in my local area. But last year, dude, the albie fishing saved my entire fishing season. We went and had a couple really good days of albie fishing, and like just a couple good days of albie fishing, man, it's like so good for the soul. So we made a really great video, I think last year, of us albie fishing. So make sure to watch that, fishing on my buddy's boat in Montauk. But, all right, we're going to take a quick little break. But that being said, I got some great footage for video topics about albies. So, because I'm lacking some striper footage at the moment, fresh striper footage. But, all right, we're going to take a quick little break here, and we'll be back in just a little bit, chat, all right? Appreciate you folks hanging out. Boop. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Stay tight, all right? Yep, you can fight. Yeah, dude. Yeah, Aiden. Knuckle buster. Are you good? Do you need me to do anything?
Yeah, I might need a ride. Yes.
Okay, okay. Hold on, I'm gonna turn now.
I'm gonna try and get on the valve.
Yeah, get on the valve. Alright, you're doing good. Keep doing your thing. I'm gonna move us away.
Is that a little one?
No, that's a nice one.
Is it? Oh, let's go!
Come here, hold it next to Allie. Good job.
That's sick.
Alright. Nice.
Let's go! Woo! Albie slap!
Good job, dude.
Yee!
Looking down the barrel of a 12 gauge little tuny, bro. On the Albihor too. Oh my god, dude! What the fuck? Woohoo! Oh my god. Yep. All right, we're back. Yeah, we got Albie stuff coming up here in, let's see. Oh man, probably a couple, 3-4 weeks or something. I'm going to start covering Albie stuff here on the channel. It's going to be that time again. I do like what we've been doing here. I want to tie some different colors, though. We're doing like mole crabs. I kind of want to just tie some other kind of funky little crab looking stuff, but maybe like green crab. Different colors. Oh yeah, well that was back when I had my boat was working. And now we're stuck to shore base fishing like a bum. Don't buy a boat if you can't have the boat running, or you can't have the boat working for the rest of your life. Because once you have a boat, you get spoiled. And then your boat breaks or the something goes wrong. And then you're like, ah, yeah. That's what it's like to not have a boat. No, my trim unit stopped working, so I got a new trim unit, but then we found out the steering, it won't like, it's not the steering, but there's a shaft the motor sits on, which is like lubricated, and that's what allows the motor to turn with the hydraulic steering. And it seems to be like frozen or something, or solid. I don't know what the hell. It's an old motor. There was so much wrong with it that I had to fix when I got it. Seemed like it was in nice condition. The boat hull itself is in gorgeous condition, so that's all that matters. But a boat motor ain't cheap, let's just say that. Okay, we're talking 15, 20 grand or something, so I'm gonna have to figure something out. I got a used one eventually or something. But I fished from shore my whole life, so it's fine. But I will say, once you go from having a boat and the luxury of it and going everywhere, fishing the ocean, going wherever you want, it sucks going back to fishing with waders. But as you see, when it was working, we fucking used the shit out of it, so... Part of my language. Alright, we're gonna get some dumbbell eyes on here. You know what we could do is we can actually take some, like, we could tie them in funky colors. Let me see if I have more natural looking stuff. Like, I was thinking like a green crab or something. I just don't think I have any. We'd have to go synthetic. Which we could go synthetic, but I'm having fun using this like fox hair type material. So, you know what? Let's get wacky. I'm gonna be using like some pink with this one. You get some different rubber legs. Yeah, we're gonna get videos pumping out here soon. And like I said, I'm gonna try and get a good amount of videos done, edited, and ready to go, and then I'll start releasing them, because if I just release one and like then work on it, this and that. So probably be some of these sort of mole crabby type flies. We got some bigger flies I want to cover. Obviously some discussion type stuff. Those take a while though. But I should start working on them, especially if I'm going to do something Albie related. I really should start compiling everything that I need. Maybe I'll start doing that this weekend. I really got to get a couple fly tying videos though, like prepped and ready. Got some stuff recorded, but the editing is what usually takes a while. Alright. Some of this nice. Let me get the camera lined up a little bit better and zoom in. What's going on, Goopy Plays? How you doing? I think we're gonna like just go with pink for this one. And I like the Astaz we've been using. And I have pink Astaz, but I kind of want to do a completely different color, just to kind of like make it funky. So let's go chartreuse for the Astaz. Yeah, we're getting close to 5K for sure. It's funny, I haven't really been posting much at all, but like the channel gets a really good amount of views. So, but I got a ton of stuff that I want to do on the channel here. I've just been busy, so it's about time to get to it. I mean, the fall time's coming up, so I'm starting to get a little bit more motivation to fish a lot more and whatnot. The fishing sucked. I'm gonna be honest with you. My fishing's been terrible, dude. I've been struggling. For a while, I was like, damn, dude, I just suck. But then I was talking to, you know, from streaming and Instagram, a lot of other folks seem to be struggling with inshore back bay fishing. But when I say struggling, it's just been a lot better in years past. So I'm glad I'm not like the only one, but I'd love to see more schoolies around smaller fish. Gotta get a little pink on there, and then we can start wrapping some staz and all that. I'll go with a little super glue here. This will just make sure everything's nice and durable. This will be like a tutti frutti mole crab. Again, it doesn't have to be a mole crab. You know, it could just be some sort of little buggy crustacean type fly. I'm trying to taper the length of the hair, by the way, as well. I don't know if you could tell. Not to try and keep it consistently too long. But I don't want to waste this really nice fox hair, so I'm trying to find some like medium length hair I can use. Here we go. So what you can do is take it, pull on the ends, slightly taper it yourself. You just gotta be careful, because if you do it too much, it'll start falling apart, or you know, falling out from your stack. Then we can go like this and V-tie it. It's almost make it like a nice little shrimp sort of thing. A nice little, probably largemouth, smallmouth fly too. Hold on. The lengths on this V-tie aren't. It's gonna drive me crazy. My OCD, quote unquote. There we go. Yeah, I like that natural material over that veil of a staz. That's nice. Once you brush it out, it kind of really, you really notice what you're working with here. Probably use some of the shorter stuff mixed in with some of the longer stuff. Or I could just pull it all apart. That works too. It's a little short though here, so I'll mix this with some of the longer hair to make it go longer, if you will. Oh, let's do some more staz. You don't want to wrap too much. You're kind of building like a little bump, if you will, you know what I mean? I'll tell you one thing I gotta do. It's a pain in the ass. I gotta order another hard drive. I save all my fly tying footage. I generally end up deleting my battle report raw footage after a while, but I save all the fly tying stuff. I have like about 4 terabytes worth of battle report or fly tying footage and finished battle reports. So, because I keep all the fly tying footage, so I can like do compilations in the future or do whatever, or just save it, you know. So I need to order another hard drive, 2 terabyte external. But it's crazy how often I fill them, especially because I film in 4K for fly tying, so it's like videos can be probably 80 gigs worth of raw footage or 60 gigs at times and stuff. Well, flamingos are pink, but they're mostly white as well. Or black, I think, right? But it does have flamingo-esque colors, if you will. Like, if you're sight fishing, I think it's one thing. And even though if you're sight fishing, I bet you could throw a pink and chartreuse one, they'll still eat it. But this would be a nice little blind cast, sort of mini jig sort of fly, if you will, right? Does kind of give me shrimp vibes. Even though it's just the same exact fly, just colors. Again, and something we got to think about, the fish don't. They're going to see this as just a lighter colored fly more often than not, so. Just certain colors stick out at different depths and stuff. Taper that a little bit by hand. By having all the material tied on the underside of the hook, which is the top now, because we have the lead eyes, this will help flip the fly over too, because this natural material is slightly buoyant by itself, you know what I mean? Something that's nice about this Foxfur, even though you kind of do lose some of the natural taper to the ends, if it is a little long, you can kind of just pull at it, and it'll kind of tear slightly, and you can adjust the length with. Don't like take your scissors and trim a material like this, because you can quickly kind of just end up with a very unnatural looking blocky material, and it's better to kind of like use your hands and tear it or something if you're going to. At least I find, if you're going to adjust it. Just a couple little rubber legs off the back, just for some fish enticing action. These are pretty quick and easy too. They're not pricks, but they're pretty quick and easy as well. Just a generic sort of crabby crustacean looking thing. Went fishing today, doubled my limit in 6 hours. The limit is 2. I suck at fishing. How's it going, Cam Legs? At least you're fishing, dude. Hell yeah, getting out there. Good stuff. What materials easiest to work with to make the hackles? I don't know what you mean by that. Because hackle is a type of feather. That's a term we just use to describe feathers. You mean like one of the techniques or something? Alright, we're gonna brush this out. I like this pink version though. Put the material back in the bag so I don't make a freaking mess. And I think we're gonna do something different, fly related after this. Switch it up. I'm tying the same thing. My Sano's laser dub bag. Rabbit. Is it in here? Now I'm confused at where it actually was. Oh, it's over here. It's in the body material place. That makes sense. See, some materials fall into 2 different sections, right? That's what makes it tricky for organizing. I'll do a little mid-cleanup midstream here just so things don't get completely out of control. Starting to get a little hot in here. I don't want to use the AC because it's going to get loud, but... starting to get a little hot. Sand flea, essentially something like it, you know. These are more like traditional sort of style sand flea flies, even though we were just kind of experimenting with some more natural materials. I like this where you wrap the Estaz then you veil it with the natural material like this. And the rubber legs are just to try and get a bite or something, or just for fun. It's not really super authentic, you know. Oh, the crook fly though, the crab fluke fly, that we got to do a video on that one for sure too. Went to the hospital on Tuesday. They found fat on my liver from years of excessive drinking, so I have to be sober now and lose weight and stop smoking. And I bought a new truck though, so it's okay. Okay, good. Yeah, stop doing all that, cam legs. And you're a young man as well. What the hell? Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad at least you're making a change at least, so good for you. And congratulations on the new truck as well. All right. Let's go ahead and, you know what? Let's do like an eel punt style fly. I saw Calvin post some. They're nice summertime fly. There's a little bit of a longer shank, but whatever. I'm just going to use what we have. Damn dropping frames. I see it every once in a while. It's pissing me off. It's not bad, but it's just enough to annoy me. Apologies, folks. Classic Optimum for you. Just enough to piss me off. Camera's not overheating right now. We're good. Do like an all white. And then maybe like an all black or something. I don't know. Just tie some flat wings. After the stream tonight, I gotta get some editing done. I'm working on one of the fly time videos, and I'm working on another Mike Rolls Dice video. Start off, we'll do a little three feather action. Sweet truck, 98 Chevy with a 5-speed manual, 4-wheel drive, and extended cab. Ooh, nice. Only 22. Hell yeah, dude. 5-speed Chevy. Count me in. Love that. Never owned a manual Chevy. Only stick truck. Well, I had a Jeep Cherokee, which was nice, 98 with the Iron Duke. And then I had a Pathfinder, 88 Pathfinder, which I learned how to drive stick. But those are the only trucks I've had with stick. I've never had like a, well, I guess the Jeep, but that wasn't really a truck, Jeep Cherokee. So, never had like an American truck and stick. I've driven some really cool ones. I've driven like column shifter 40s and 50s trucks back when I was a mechanic. All right. A tiny bit of bucktail. Really not much. Not much at all, in fact. You'll never own an automatic one? Well, I got a Suburban. It's nice. I got a nice... fucking haven't driven the thing in forever. I bet you I'll clean it up, start it. Then it'll be perfect. I don't mind it too, especially for towing a boat. That's where having an automatic's really nice for when you're towing really heavy stuff, you know. But especially if you're going off-road, like a truck like that, you can go off-road, and that's where like having manual is really nice. 3 on the tree, hell yeah. LeBron to my Sixers, what you're feeling? What's your feeling? Wait, LeBron is going to the Sixers? First off, I don't know anything about modern basketball. Back when Kobe and Shaq were on the same team as back was the last I was like understood what the hell is going on in modern day basketball. Did I say football? But LeBron, I know enough about LeBron. Are the Sixers like a modern day? I mean, I remember, dude, Allen Iverson. That was the shit. Allen Iverson was like the short dude, but he had the moves. So growing up, like he was He was like really cool. So if you had an Allen Iverson jersey, even in New York, you're like, damn, all right. So I mean, it can't be a bad thing, right? LeBron? Is he still like the dominant dude? Or is there, I'm sure there's some other people, right? But it's still LeBron, right? So it can't be a bad thing for your team. So that's my feeling. I mean, wait, didn't the Knicks win too? Didn't we end up winning New York? Win the NBA or whatever? I forgot. All I know is they like burned down the city. That's all I know as a New Yorker. But yeah, I think the Knicks won, didn't they, or something? Which was like crazy. It's funny. I used to be a Knicks fan or whatever. We used to go to the. We used to take a train to the city or drive to the city and then go to the game or something when I was a little kid. But I'm not much of a sports guy nowadays. But basketball is probably like my favorite, I will say, because I used to play basketball when I was a kid and in like middle school. Not in high school when it got serious, you know what I mean? It was too much into the Chiba Chiba by then, but... So yeah, I mean, that can't be a bad thing, right? LeBron? It's one of the GOATs. The Knicks did win, yep. But this pushed Philly ahead. Well, hell yeah. I mean, that seems like a good thing then. I don't even know. I know there's I know a couple modern day basketball players. But like, I grew up with like, you know, it was like Kevin Durant, Kobe, Shaq, Allen Iverson. Who was the white dude for the Spurs? Oh god, what was that guy's name? I used to love playing that. There was one basketball game on Xbox that I actually really loved. And I used to love playing it. There was also Vince Carter. Oh, for the Raptors. Vince Carter was one of my favorite. Is his name Dr. J? Or you know, you're saying Dr. J in general. What was the name of the dude the white dude for it was the Spurs, right? He was like some short dude. Or was that his? No, you're because Dr. J's the alley oop dude with the like that. And as a kid, I used to always wear Michael Jordan jerseys because it was like I grew up in the early 90s. I was born in 90, so like I had like Michael Jordan like wind blazers. Some of my elementary like kindergarten school photos are me on a like a play set because they did it with all the kids, you know, your kindergarten photos. And I'm wearing like a full wind jacket and pants, Michael Jordan, Chicago Bulls. The Sixers dunk champ. Yeah, I used to know a lot about basketball, but that's about it. I used to actually go play basketball too when I was an adult. I would go to the local park and go play with randoms, which was like people were like fighting and shit, like ripping their shirts off. You want to go? I'm like, dude, I'm here, just like here. I'll pass me the ball, all right. I'm not gonna do anything crazy, but like, I used to go play with random people, and that's when I was like, I'm a little out of my league, dude. There's like on a basketball court, there's like on a public basketball court too. It's wild. There's a lot of ego. But I used to work at the public park, so I used to go after work and go play with them. Nowadays, though, if I tried to play basketball, I'd probably have a heart attack because I smoke cigarettes and stuff. Like the amount of running back and forth you consistently do on playing basketball is ridiculous. You're just consistently running back and forth, back and forth, back and forth like this. Soccer too, soccer or football, European football is very intense like that, where it's a lot of consistently just running non-stop at like full speed, full-on gameplay. Because in American schools we play sports, so we would play football, we'd play basketball, soccer, and then if you want you could join teams and stuff like that. So sports are pretty big in the United States. We have basketball teams for each school, football teams, hockey teams, all that stuff. Maybe less hockey teams, but in northern states they do. But But like baseball, there's women's softball. These are all pretty big. Not that every kid does it in school, but it's a pretty big thing in American schools. So like in elementary school, I played soccer, I played basketball. What else? That was really it. Soccer for many years and basketball for many years. But that was like, you know, in elementary school, middle school, it's much more relaxed. In high school, it kind of gets serious. Or serious-ish, I guess. Depends. But I don't know. Me and my friends were all stoners, so we weren't that super serious. Oh, I played tennis. That was the other sport I played for a couple of years. Tennis. Tennis was hard as shit. Tennis is the hardest sport I ever played. Like, I'm not like, I wasn't even super tall too, but I'm like tall enough. So I was a center and went for a while, a little bit in basketball. And I was okay. In football, I don't know, maybe some sort of defensive thing or something. I don't even know. I don't know if I ever scored any goals. Who the hell knows? But tennis, like just trying to even serve the ball properly, competitively every time. Tennis is tough. Oh, badminton's fun. Badminton's a lot of fun. We played that in high school. Everyone loved when we played badminton. And, like, we're talking about, like, you know, I don't care if there was, like, gangster kids, stoner kids, whoever, you know, whatever sort of high school group. If we were playing badminton, everyone was getting, like, competitive and playing it. It was a lot of fun. That, and we played European handball. In fact, I dislocated this pinky. This pinky was out of its socket and facing completely this way in high school because we played European handball. And I put my hand up like this with this dude jumping midair to score a goal. And I put my hand up because he was like going to land on top of me. We were both like midair. I was trying to block him. And this finger like completely dislocated. He like jammed into it and it like popped out of its socket and went this way. And I had to sit waiting for my mom to come pick me up, because the school wouldn't touch it. So I had to go to like an emergency room. They had to relocate it. But European handball, that was the shit. In high school, dude, we would go all out. And that and dodgeball. Dodgeball was so much fun. And you'd play with like younger kids too. So you'd be just like pegging younger kids with dodgeballs. Like younger high schoolers. You know what I mean? Because when you were young, it was a high school thing, dude. When you're the young kids, you know, the older kids are like getting easy points, like pegging kids with dodgeballs because they put older kids on both teams, you know. So it's your right when you're an older kid to just be like pegging kids with dodgeballs, like boom. That was so much fun. We used to do a lot of cool sports stuff in school, man. There was also, we did something, it was like a freaking obstacle course we would do in elementary school. It was so much fun. There'd be like all these like foam obstacles, and they would set up this huge obstacle course and they would time it and they would have kids go one by one. Some kids would like not want to take part in it because they probably didn't want to, you know, suck at it or something, but it was so much fun. You would have to like go under stuff, you'd have to jump over stuff, you'd have to like do all this crazy stuff, and the last thing you had to do was like run, jump, and grab this like big foam wall and climb over it. I think they used to call it the Wall of China or something like that, I remember in school. And I don't know if anyone ever did stuff like that in their school, but they would do this like crazy like athletic timed obstacle course in the gym with like these foam constructions. I don't know how to explain. And you know, it's the sort of thing where you could like land on it. It's like a cushion, but it was like they used it in gyms. That was the coolest thing they ever did. I don't know if they still do stuff like that, or I don't know if that was just my school or what. But I remember I was like, this is sick. Why? This is like a freaking triathlon for like elementary school kids and foam playthings or something. You were offered a scholarship for tennis, but you did rowing in college instead. I'm going to be honest with you, tennis was like really competitive. And, like, I don't know, dude. Like, tennis, I feel like it was just way harder to, like, get good at compared to other sports. I guess there's just, like, a certain level. I guess it was easier to, like, be okay at football, or be okay at basketball, but like to be like good enough at tennis to not completely disappoint your coach every time. It was like the bar was higher, I guess, just to be decent. I used to skip those. I liked it. I like physical stuff like that. I had some cool gym teachers too. Like honestly, like some of the stuff was like crap or whatever, but when we a lot of times they made like this stuff fun at the same time, even for as a high schooler, because a lot of kids were competitive. You know, if they like had us playing touch or flag football or something like that, dude, we were going all out. Kids were like dislocating like I dislocated my hand in European finger in European football. The coach, I mean the gym teacher was like freaking out. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'll tell you guys this story. So my finger dislocated, right? I run up to the coach. I stick my dislocated pinky like right in his face, and I'm like, what? I think I was like 17 at the time, you know, in high school, or like 16. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? And my finger's facing, like my pinky's, I've never seen this happen. It was like facing a completely wrong way. And I'm just screaming at him with my finger. I'm like yelling, ah, what the fuck happened? What is this? That's all I was doing. And he didn't know. He was like went in shell shock for like 20 seconds. He had no idea what to do. He's like, Then he took me to the nurse's office. But when I graduated, like 2 years later, he fucking, he told me, he came up to me when I was like emptying my locker. He goes, that was the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen. He goes, no, he's like, never has anything like that. He's like, he still thinks about that. It's one of the funniest things he's ever seen. Because like my reaction to it was fucking hilarious. What the fuck is this? Like shoving my hand in his face. European handball is like, let me see if I can we. European handball. Hold on. So it's essentially, think of, oh, what's a good way to describe it? So there's a goal, and you play it on a basketball court, is the way we did it. So you can't step into the 3-point line. Okay? So you would have to, but you can run and jump, and as long as you throw the ball before you hit the ground. So it's a mix between like basketball, but there's like no dribbling, and instead of a basketball net, there's a soccer net. And there was a goal, or there was a goalie. So like you would have to try and you would I think you had to pass the ball. I forgot if there were rules for like if you could, or you could just run with it as much as you want. But essentially like it's kind of like basketball, soccer, and like football kind of mixed together. And my favorite thing was you get the ball, and I used to be really fucking good at it. I would be in like 10th grade, and like the 12th graders are like, pass it to Mike. Fuck, I'd grab that thing, and I would be running like a cheetah as I come up to this line, the 3-point line, and I'd jump. And I'd like jump and be flying midair and like throw the ball like past the goalie and stuff. It was so much fun. No wonder why my finger dislocated. Like, dude, this was the most competitive game we played in high school. Like there would be games where it'd be like, okay, we're doing this, we're doing flag football or something, and the kids, you know, like we would, you know, especially like if we're, you know, some of the guys, we'd be like, all right, let's, you know, all right, you're going down or whatever. But this game, dude, it was like we should have had like leagues or something. It was so good. This is my favorite game I've ever played. Yeah. And it's the only time I've dislocated my pinky was playing this game. It's so good, though. I don't know. It looks like it's still a thing, though. It looks like it's pretty popular. I don't know. It's definitely a European thing, though. I think there's definitely American leagues and stuff, but yeah, pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. In the 70s, there was a president fitness test. There were some crazy tests like climbing rope, push-ups, and running for president. Really? Are you talking about for the president? But what about like Nixon and all these guys are like fat. Does your pinky sometimes hurt? It does when it rains. specifically when it rains, and if I do like jam it up a little bit, it hurts quite a lot. Unfortunately. Luckily, this is my guitar playing hand. I'm a lefty. This should be my guitar hand, and this should be my picking hand, but it's opposite. I learned right-handed because it really kind of like fucked up my pinky somewhat. They did a good job with it, but it definitely like did some sort of permanent nerve damage or something because my finger was all fucked up. It was not right. So when it rains, it gets like really sore and achy, and if I do jam it up, it hurts for like quite a while. As opposed to like, you know, if you just jam your finger up. To get the badge given from the office if you passed everything, are you talking about real presidents, or are you talking about in high school there was a presidential fitness test is what you're talking about? I remember they stopped doing this after a while because kids probably just were like, I don't want to do it, and they felt, I think it was like kids were getting embarrassed they couldn't do it, and part of me, I was one of them. But remember they used to have you climb the rope to the ceiling? I don't think they do that anymore. Or they're like, you don't have to do it. Back in the day, they were like, you got to do it, damn it. You know what I mean? And they beat you or something. But they were still doing that when I was like in elementary school, and I still am very scared of heights. It was just funny because I've hunted in tree stands and I've done all sorts of stuff, and I'm terrified the whole time, but I'll do it. But what do you call it? As a kid, I was like super terrified of it, and also just not. I wasn't like, I've never been very good with like upper body strength, physical fitness stuff. You know what I mean? But after a while, though, I remember the peer pressure. I was like, I gotta do that, dude. The president had a fitness czar. Holy shit. That's crazy. I can't see Nixon doing that or somebody. But what do you call it? I remember I finally did it. Like, I almost got to the top. You know, I was a little kid too, you know? But it's like, you had that, like, pressure of like, damn, if I don't do this, man. A, I'm not cool. And B, I'm kind of a wimp. You know what I mean? But I don't think they do that now. I think they, like, I don't even know if they have that climb to the ceiling thing. Everyone's, like, looking at their phones or some shit, but... Yeah, I was at the point where they started transitioning to like a different way of teaching phys ed compared to the traditional sort of older style that they probably were doing forever in the US. Shooting with air guns. In Soviet bloc, you couldn't say you can't. They would force you. Yep. Yeah, in Soviet, in Mother Russia, you don't climb rope. Rope climbs you. Okay? I was going to do an eel punt. I ended up just doing a flat wing. We're just kind of chit-chatting. We'll do an eel punt next. But I just let the material guide me. And I was like, you know what? This hook's kind of making me feel sand eel-ish. Carter R. Ford. Gotcha. Pegboard was tough? Oh, God. No, I hate that type of joke. It doesn't make sense. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. You missed the whole joke. Alright, let's get some head cement on here. Let's whip up one more fly. It's getting hot. Getting hungry, too. Got some YouTube editing to do. No eyes, no flash, don't need it. We got a little Bill's body braid on there. You just take this sucker and you swing it. Let her rip. The high school rifle team. Yeah, I think we did archery a little bit, but they definitely stopped doing that. There were too many kids, like, they were like, ooh, we don't want to give that kid a bow. You know what I mean? They were just asking for trouble. I remember we were like doing arts and some kid just like stabbed some other kid with a razor blade out of nowhere for no reason. He just wanted to like see what happens when you stab some dude with a razor blade. Not even like violent, just like dumb. You know what I mean? But they were like, yeah, we're not giving these kids bows. Mm-hmm. But early on, I remember, that was actually when I was first like, okay, archery's sick. I got a couple recurves sitting on the wall. Hunting bows. Do a white eel punt sort of thing. Yeah, I can't talk. I'm starting to get a little fat now. I was like a nice 160, and my doctor's like, all right, you might actually need to start eating more. Because, like, you're not eating enough or something. But I've started to gain a little bit of weight since then, and I'm like, nah, I think I'm starting to get a little too lax with my diet. So, not that we even have a ton of junk or whatnot, you know, but I spent a lot of time editing and doing stuff, so I gotta, what do you call it? I need to start watching what I eat a little bit more. Yeah, times are different. Well, you know, Bob Dylan says the times are changing. Oh, that's one thing you learn. It always repeats itself too. Somebody will be like, well, yeah, I remember my day used to be like this, and then 110 years, 20 years from now, the next generation, well, I remember when my day used to be like this. It's the way she goes. Time keeps moving on. Time waits for no man. I actually looked up a bunch of George Washington quotes today, because if you guys didn't know, I'll show you real quick. You guys want to see them? This is the new limited, like, Soldier of Fortune miniature, because they just released a 10mm Revolutionary War game, or they new miniatures for Warlord, but they released this in 28mm scale. But check out who it is. George Washington, but I gave him a Colt 1911 and a rocket launcher because he's my new platoon commander for Conflict 47. That's our founding father right there. Round of applause. There's old George, and he's standing on a cherry tree stump. I just wanted to show you guys. I love this miniature. It came out really well. Came out really good. It's the clone of George Washington, or it's his great-grandson, because it's in 1947, so it's been a little while since 1700s. But I was looking up George Washington quotes. There were some good ones. There were some good ones. There were some good ones. The one that I went with is about, like, being, prepared for war or something. But there was a lot of good ones about the country and about being tolerant and all this stuff. There's some good George Washington quotes in there. I was like, oh, okay. Very nice. I recommend you guys go check out some George Washington quotes after the stream. Just peruse through them. I think it's the Mount Vernon, there's a website for the Mount Vernon estate, which is George Washington's home. And they have some George Washington quotes. You should check it out. There's some good ones in there. I was like, you know what? True. True, George. True and real. Knew what he was talking about. Time travel would be cliche. We were not doing anything time travel related. No. No. It's not actually George Washington. It's either they dug up his grave and cloned him to try and fight against back the Axis, or it's the great-grandson of George Washington. Great-grandson. One or the other. Alright, one more feather here. And then we could do some palmering. I probably will actually do a little body braid first, because we have quite a lot of hook shank to cover, so I don't want to palmer all the way up. Let's do a little bit of a teeny body braid in between, then we'll palmer in front for like a half flatwing-esque, half eel punt-esque fly. Well, I mean, I could just palmer the whole way. I just wanted to do like a little body braid there and then palmer. You know, I am going to do that because that's fun. And I think I've done this in the past, but man, it is getting fucking hot. All right. Well, next week, chat, is our giveaway stream, and we used to just do the giveaway for Twitch because it was done via Marble Race. But I'm gonna set up Stream Elements. I really got to get that done before next week, or Streamlabs and the Nightbot. Excuse me. So we will have our giveaway will be for both YouTube and Twitch. So make sure you guys tune in on the last Friday of every month, which is coming up next weekend. It's gonna be the 31st, I think. Next Friday. So in the past, it was just Twitch because that's how we did it. It was like a program that uses Twitch. But now we're doing it for everybody, so you guys can be involved on YouTube as well. So be sure to tune into that stream. We're doing that next week. That's a soft hackle fly. Okay, gotcha. That is a Abrams pattern. I was like, this is a... What am I thinking? This is a fly, isn't it? Let me see. Is there some hackle on here that's wide enough I can use? I think so. This hackle's not very good, though. Let's just grab some cheap Chinese saddle hackle and we'll use that. Something webbier. I mean, this stuff will work. I'm trying to find a feather that's kind of a little bit nicer. I'm just being bougie right now. A lot of junk ones, because that's what I'm down to from tying all the roosterfish stuff, you know? Whatever. Just grab one, start using it. Oh, I gotta think about... Okay, that's something true. Can't be too webby, or too wide, I should say, because of the fact that this is a much smaller hook than usual. Add a sparse wing too. Okay, we could do a little sparse wing. Little light bucktail wing in there. Or we could do a maybe another hackle wing or something, but keep it nice and sparse. A little bit longer on top, we'll go shorter on the belly. It's funny, I know there's so much fly tying stuff that I know, but I don't. I'm like, oh yeah, that's an Abrams pattern. I'm like, was it? If I wrap the easy body like this, it's like not an eel bump, but I think that's a fly. I'm missing a couple though, like from the, I wish I had the perfect fish. That book would be very nice. So expensive though, I don't think I'll ever own it. I know I have a friend from high school that has one, but I don't know where the hell he is. I think he moved years ago, and that was at... When we were kids, he had it. I bet you he doesn't know now. That book is worth like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So hard to find. Do you have that one, Calvin, a perfect fish? I mean, even like when we were kids, me and my buddy, his name is Joe, he had it. I remember that book was like really hard to find. And even then, I think it was really expensive too. Compared to like Striper Moon or something. There was like really nice watercolor paintings in it. Hook's a little small for this, but it should work. Oh, you do have it? Very nice. Then Marabou, gotcha. Well, I just wrapped a little bit more hackle, and this is nice. It's kind of like a mix between an eel punt and a flatwing, if you will, you know what I mean? Nice and simple. Let's tie another one here. I want to try and tie it slightly smaller, lengthwise, because of the size hook we're using and all that. Dude, it's freaking hot. Sheesh. It's so nice outside too. It's crazy. It's so hot in here. It's just because my room is so small. I got all the lights and the camera on and everything. My computer's, it's really what's doing it. But I guarantee you I'm going to go outside after I'm done streaming. It's going to be so nice. Like low 70s. About 75 views. Gotcha. I think it's like in the hundreds now, I think, if I'm not wrong. If you try and find it. I remember somebody told me that book is insanely expensive. I think I looked it up. It was like over 100 something bucks. All right. Whip up one more here. Actually, we could, I mean, we still got time. I'm trying to do 3 hours, obviously, so we got time to tie more flies. We could take a quick little break, because I'm running low on a drink. And then we could actually keep tying for a little bit. It's probably not going to take me a long time to tie this fly. All right, let's take a quick little break. I'll come back and then we'll tie some more. It's still pretty early, actually, so we got more time to stream. I don't want to end stream too early. What cement nail polish do you use? Well, most of the time I use super glue for a lot while I'm tying, Chris. Then recently I've been using the hard as hull head cement, but what I'll just say is on Amazon or at a local Rite Aid or Eckerd's or whatever, get yourself Sally Hansen's hard as nails. That stuff works really good. Mark Sadati showed me that years ago, and that's what I used for years, but recently I've been using the fly tying stuff. But I will say hard as nails is really good. I think this hard as hull is like kind of copies it a little bit, but it's just a head cement. I'm waking up in 7 hours to make it on time for a tabletop event. All right, hey, have a nice night, Klovek. Thanks for hanging out, dude. So this is what I use just to cover the threads when I'm done with the fly, but while I'm actually tying, I'll use super glue on the threads, you know what I mean? To make sure it's as durable as possible. You have Sally Hansen's on your desk? Perfect. Yeah, you don't have to use specific fly tying stuff. You can totally just get away, because the Sally Hansen is what I used for years. Mark showed me when I was a kid at a fly show, and I was like, that's what I used up until about 5-6 years ago when I started tying for one of the local shops, and I would just go get a bottle of this while I'm there, because I'm lazy, but, you know. No problem, Klovek. Thanks for hanging out, dude. All right, we're going to take a quick little break, chat. When I get back, we're going to whip up some more flatwings and stuff like that. Just tying some summertime flies, bait fish, crabs, things like that. So, now you spelled peace out right the first time. To be fair, peace is spelled 2 different ways in English. So English not being your first language makes it totally acceptable. Don't worry. I'm American and speak English. I could probably barely type English half the time. All right, chat. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to grab a drink real quick, and we're going to keep on tying for a little bit. So don't go nowhere. If you've been sitting down for a little while, though, stretch your legs too. Get some blood flowing in there, and we'll be back in just a moment. All right? Alright, made it back in time. Let's go. Alright. It's funny because I was making trees for a tabletop video. And I was just looking at some of the trees out here and the tree structure to see how the branches are. But dude, there's some old ass trees in my neighborhood. Like, some of these trees are just massive. Some of these oak trees, they're like, you could tell they're just really old. One of them got taken out, or a couple of them, really old trees got taken out in the storm we had recently. We lost power for like a couple days, which is kind of unheard of for Long Island, I guess, unless you get a freaking hurricane or something. But yeah, unfortunately, I think we lost a couple like old trees in the neighborhood, because some of these trees are just like freaking monsters compared to the other general size of oak trees you see here on Long Island. I think we just live in an area where there's a bunch of like old forest growth or something. I don't know. It's like pretty dense trees in this neighborhood compared to more like, you know, classic suburban neighborhoods you see on Long Island where it's green grass, a couple trees here and there. We got some nice little chunks of forest in my area, which is cool. All right. Do some sort of flat one. Let's do a... I like the 3 feather flat wings, honestly. The 3 feather tails. You know what I mean? Let's get rid of some of this. We'll do another white one. Then maybe we'll try and see if I have some darker hackle. Or another lighter colored one, I should say. And then we'll see if we can do a darker colored one. It's a little early, though. I was like, oh, you know, whatever. I'm getting hungry, this and that. I looked over. I'm like, nah, we got to stream a little bit more. I do want to work on YouTube videos, though, so. As usual, and I'm still prepping. We're recording this game on Sunday, so. I'm excited. It's first sponsored video. It's on Mike Rolls Dice, not Li Flies Mike. But it's my first sponsored YouTube video that I'm kind of getting, like, essentially paid to do, so that's actually kind of pretty big. So I'm excited. Hopefully it's a good one. We'll see. I'm going to put a lot of hard work into it, as usual. Now, we can get something like that going on Mike, on Li Flies Mike. That would be nice. Let's mix a little chartreuse. This hackle is pretty webby. I think it would be great for palmering. Not necessarily the best for a flat wing tail. It's a little thick, but you know, I'm going to use it anyway. There should be something thin enough in here. Usually you can find one. Yeah. Yeah, it looks pretty good like that. Yeah, I'm going to clean my Regal Vice tomorrow. My, the head. I got to clean with some gun cleaning stuff and preservative or whatever. I will add a little flash on this one. I've not been going very heavy on the flash because sometimes I keep it light. But you know what? I've been lazy. Let's grab a flash. Trying to get this fly time material put away. Be nice to have fishing get together this fall for a night for the subs. We've done that before. We could organize something. The problem is trying to find somewhere to park. That's why in the fall time it's a little bit better, because where I live, the parking is like out in the near the Hamptons and whatnot. The parking can be ridiculous. But we had in the past on Twitch, we had a meetup where we had like I think 12 people, or like something like that. It was like 12, 15 people from like all over the East Coast show up and fish out here. So we could do something like that. Potentially. We've done it in the past. We may need to organize it. You know, it might be more of a next year thing or something, but we have done something like that in the past. It's kind of tricky finding a spot where there's like public parking. You know what I mean? On the east end of Long Island is one thing. But we could possibly figure something out for sure. I think we did it in the spring many years ago. The fall time, I'm trying to think. probably a couple different places where you could go, for instance. Oh, I said I was going to put flash on, and I didn't. So let's do that. Let's go with a tiny bit of crystal flash. There are some places you could go though, like Albie or striper fishing, where people, it's like a state park or something where people can park and they don't need town parking and stuff. Because a lot of the places out here, they even have town parking permits for the fall time to stop people from fishing, essentially. Especially on the north shore of Long Island, where the sick Albie fishing is. Montauk's super far for everybody. And that's tough because you have to pay for a lot of that stuff out there. There's stuff we could do closer to where I live. Or closer to like on the east end, but not super far out, you know. Near the fork or whatnot. Places either on the north shore or on the south shore. Probably south shore or something. I'll have to figure it out though. I don't know if we'll do it this year, but we'll see. I'll plan something eventually. We have done stuff like that before in the past. I gotta get out and go fishing myself first before I start organizing a fishing event. You know what I mean? Jamaica Bay? Yeah, so Montauk or Jamaica Bay? Let's pick the two opposites. Well, we could either meet in Portland, Maine, or we can meet in St. Augustine, Florida. I'm thinking somewhere closer, not to the middle, but closer to the middle than more the end. One of the bays in between, closer to me or something. We'll see. We'll figure it out one day. Got a little white on the belly. Let's do some chartreuse on top. I don't have any like Kelly green or whatever cool color this is. That's okay. If it ain't chartreuse, it ain't no use. Probably gonna do some albie fishing from shore this year. We'll see. I tried last year, but I was going to this one spot where it's way harder to do with a fly rod than a spinning rod. So I should travel. Go with a little. Let's go a little pink on top of the chartreuse. I do want a little bit more bucktail to even out the amounts, but I'm keeping it sparse. But I was like, what else can I do color-wise that would be cool? Because I've learned from Kenny Abrams all about like blending bucktails and stuff. It's all cool stuff. It's like a little pink in there on top. I was hoping to raise a little more, but I think we raised like $95 or something. I don't know if I showed you guys, but we had a big selection of flies that I donated to the local wildlife refuge. I do it every year. And I think it's usually around that much. I was hoping to get a little bit more because I gave them some really nice flies, but I'm just happy they got around $100 for the wildlife refuge that we were able to help raise. Because I usually give them like some random flies. Usually it's like some surf candies or something, so some fluke guys can use it. But this year I gave them like a Squimpish Hollow and a bunch of flies we tied on stream actually, like cool flies from the stream, and stuff like that. So, but I mean that's reasonable. In reality, it's much more money in flies if I were just to sell it. But you know, it's like a charity thing, so I'm happy that it got that much at least. But you know, $100, I'll take it, or they'll take it. I'm happy they got something. Let's go with this. It's a little bit stiffer, but let's palmer this chartreuse. I did a bunch of stuff there as a kid, like camps. We used to go there and walk all the time. It's like one of the biggest preserves of pine barrens in like the world in terms of like, you know, how much pine barrens are like protected. So it's like a very important place ecologically, this area on Long Island that is a wildlife reserve. I think some like wealthy person from Manhattan years ago like bought this area and like turned it into a wildlife preserve. Like started a fund for it. The cool thing is they have it open to the public and everything, so. But I learned so much about Long Island, you know, ecology and the biology, the wildlife, the local wildlife growing up and going to like classes there and like summer camps and stuff. It was cool to help them a little bit, give back a little bit. Would have really liked if they got like $250 for those flies. That would sound a little bit better, but $100, all right. I kind of want to wrap one more, but no, I'm not going to get greedy. I might have to because this hackle didn't palmer perfectly. So let me just wrap a little bit of this fluff on top. Just get a little fluff. Very, very, very soft piece of, I don't even know, this could be jungle cock. You know, the really far back feathers that don't have the nails. I think that's what this is. I just pulled it out of my feather box of loose feathers. It's kind of what I think it is, though. That or just like a really short piece of Chinese saddle hackle. Soft. Got the thread head a little bit cleaner because there's part of the green hackle was the stem was very thick. I mean, the fish don't care. It's just me being a perfectionist with my thread wrapping. This is a nice fly. This is like a fishy fly right here. That little bit of pink, the chartreuse, the Kelly green, the green hackle with some of like the gray marabou stuff wrapped on there, and with that tail, this is a fishy looking fly right here. These are the sort of stuff I like. Look at my box. Let's say it's sunset, outgoing tide, and I'm like, there's like some current. I have a floating line. It's pretty calm. I'm like, there's got to be some fish working on some bait. I'll take this and like swing this or dead drift it or something. I'm like, all right, that's money right there. This will get me a hit. Put a little head cement on there. Ready to rock. Yeah, I like the mix, like the wet hackle fly or whatever. Soft hackle fly, you're saying, Calvin. Mixing Kenny's flies like this. Yeah, that's nice. Nice profile, not too much material. It's nice and sparse. You can see the easy body. It's in the water. It's going to be sparse. You know, you can like see through it. It's going to be translucent. That's what you want. Just like the right length. I just like the way the head is and everything on it. Just came out nice. It's always a nice feeling when you tie a fly and you're like, ooh, I like the look of that one more so than... Or I particularly like the look of that one, I should say. It just feels fishy. I don't know. Looks nice. Do you do any articulated flies like double deceivers? Oh yeah, we do a ton of articulated stuff in the past. And every now and then. I don't fish a ton of articulated flies in saltwater because the metal shanks tend to be heavier. And I don't like having very heavy flies. But we've done articulated like squid flies. We've done articulated like bunker flies. I'd say where articulated flies shine are in freshwater in particular. With like articulated streamers for like pike, muskie, trout, smallmouth, and stuff like that. And you can use these flies in saltwater. It's just saltwater is so you gotta like realize like if you're not rinsing that fly perfectly, it's gonna corrode terribly. So like I like simple flies for saltwater. I mean, even if it's a big bunker fly, I don't like the least amount of things that could like rust and go raw and this and that. You know what I mean? And the generally, even though like a game changer doesn't have to be heavy or bulky or something, it will be harder to cast over the course of 6 hours throughout the day of fishing compared to like a bucktail deceiver. You know what I mean? So, but I think in freshwater, that's where articulated flies really shine. You can use them in salt, but again, I don't think you necessarily need to be using articulated flies in saltwater. You know what I mean? That's my personal belief. Like, I don't think it's necessary to be tying like complicated articulated flies. I think you'll do almost better with just like learning how to tie nice hollow flies and stuff. You know what I mean? So, because that's like, what do we see people like pay the big bucks for, and what are they obsessed with in saltwater fly tying nowadays? It's these beast flies, and the beast flies aren't even articulated. It's a piece of monofilament off the back. You know what I mean?
Big 5-0.
Yo, Craggerall, thanks for coming in, bro. Is that 50 months? Sheesh, the big 5-0. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that with that tier 1. God damn, brother. Sheesh. Thank you, my dude. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I don't think articulated flies are really necessary for salt, but because what you think like a beast fly would be perfect articulated fly, and you can tie them my buddy Tim, South Fork Salt does. But again, I think they just get they like all those big metal shanks. They just start adding too much weight compared to just a straight piece of mono, for instance. You know. All right, let's whip up one more fly here, and then I'm gonna get back to work, get back to editing. I'm gonna try and use some darker colors. Appreciate that, Cragger. I hope you're doing well, dude. Hope you're doing well, brother. Oh my god, I got scared for a second. I'm like, is this jungle cock? But look at the bottom of these. That looks awfully similar to jungle cock right there, doesn't it? Are those separate? No, those are just the ends of the black dyed hackle. For a second, didn't that kind of looks like a jungle cock eye? Like part of it, like half of it. It like caught my attention real quick. My heart dropped. I'm like, wait, what is there jungle cock mixed in here? What the hell's going on? I got baited. You see what I'm talking about though, there, right? It like kind of looked like fucking jungle cock. It's too stiff. Unfortunately, I don't really have any nice thin black hackle. We'll tie it short. Keep it short. Simple, short. Oh, okay. Before we do anything, let me put some of this stuff away, dude. I looked over on my desk. There's like fucking hackle out of the package. We got bucktail everywhere. I'll end the stream. I'll go downstairs, sit outside for a while, come upstairs and be like, what the hell's all this crap all over my desk? Who didn't clean up the fly time material when they were done? Let me just put these bucktails away. We're good. That's something I learned I had to start doing on my fly tying streams. That's like after I'm done tying a fly, put the material away. You should have seen what it looked like back in the day. Like when you probably first started watching Craggerall back then, when I was done with the stream, there'd just be a box. I'd have a cardboard box filled with fly tying material from what I used that stream, because I would just chuck it in a box. Because I'd be like, I'm streaming, I can't take 2 seconds to put it away. Nope, not anymore. I'm putting that shit away. But yeah, I used to just like chuck it in a box. Flash, hackle. Y'all like bunched up. Now I'm a little better with it. Dude, I can't wait to go sit outside. It's gonna be so nice and cool. It's so hot and muggy in my room right now with all this electronic crap on. I don't have black thread, so we're just going to use white. It's fine. The fish don't care. I promise. Oh, I know what we're gonna do. Let's finish it off by listening to my guitar track. We'll keep it low, but this is one of the songs I'm working on. I did use one of my new songs. I did put a song out in the battle report. If you guys wanna, we'll listen to that at the end of the stream. But I'm just gonna put a song on in the background, quiet, because I want to. It's tough when you tie for trout, bass, and saltwater. Yeah. There was a time I was doing trout, bass, and saltwater because I was driving up the island to trout fish. Now it's mostly salt. For a while it was bass and salt. But nowadays I just mostly salt fish. I'm not as young as I used to be and spry to carry a canoe through the woods like I used to. Now I got the back of an 80-year-old. Okay, it's hopefully not too loud. It's just a loop of some guitar tracks. I just want to listen to it in the background. Okay, there we go. Let's finish off with the last fly. Let's finish off the stream with a little mic guitar track. It's gonna be for a Mike Rolls Dice video covering the custom Turkish army I'm making. So it's gonna be like a Turkish Middle Eastern guitar riff, like that Turkish scale that my dad uses. All right, little black hackle. Going nighttime. I'll just grab whatever colors I see here. Make sure it's not too loud. Okay. I got the back of a 60-year-old. Oh wait, I am 60 and sometimes I forget and get myself on trouble in jetties. Oh dude. I think if I threw my back out on a jetty in November, they would find me dead the next morning. Like if I didn't have a cell phone or no service and I threw my back out on a jetty in one of those like perilous jetty situations, you know, where the waves are crashing over and it's like you and a couple other morons are out there fishing in the middle of the night. You know what I mean? Like one of those situations. I'm sure all of us have been in those things where we're like, should we be out here? You know, like we used to do, or I used to do back in the day. And if I like threw my back out, like what happens now where I become immobile for like a month, I'm pretty certain I would just die. One way or another somehow. I would be like swept off or something and drowned. Never dawned on me, your surname is Turkish? My wife's a Turk? Hell yeah, dude. Well, it's anything with Z's in it. There's a Z's and all sorts of wacky letters. People don't know. They're like, are you Japanese? With that last name? But no, I'm Turkic. Riding horsebacks, shooting horn bows made out of buffalo horns, and raiding villages on horseback. I'm building a Turkish army for Conflict 47, so I've done a lot of research into traditional like Turkic military and like Turkic horseback riders long ago, pre-Ottoman, and then Ottoman Empire times, and then Ataturk times for like World War II era Turkish soldiers. How's it going, Liam? Hope you're doing well too, dude. Watching Captain Quinn get eaten by a shark. That was, yeah, I remember, dude. I'm not even, I've talked about this. First off, I met Roy, what's his name? The lead actor in Jaws. My dad painted his house on Long Island, his summer home, for years. So I got to shake his hand. And this is like right after the movie. I think it was like the second movie came out or something. But Jaws was like, I mean, growing up at the time and like, you know, watching all that and whatnot. Or no, it wasn't after the movies came out. Probably the movies were out for a while because it had to have been like 94 or 5 I met him or whatever. But whatever, my dad painted his house for years. But I got to meet that dude. But as a kid, I would be scared in the bathtub. That's how scared Jaws got me. Like, we used to go swimming at the beach. I don't think I went to the beach probably for like a year or two. I'm not even kidding, as a kid. That movie... What the fuck? Whoa! Jesus Christ. Mic check, mic check. Holy fuck. I'm sorry about that. Dude, holy shit. I'm using an XLR cable mic. There's something going on with this cable. I have to replace the cable. This fucking cable, dude. If I, like, touch it wrong, it fucking... Holy shit. That just, like, blew my eardrums out. Hopefully that wasn't loud for you guys. Because I have a limiter on the stream, so it shouldn't be... I heard the raw audio. Holy shit. Scared the fuck out of me. There's something wrong with, like, this XLR cable, the connection where the mic is. I think it's just the cable itself. Sheesh. But yeah, Jaws. Movie scared the crap out of me for years. And, like, the chances of getting bit by a shark were, like, 0 on Long Island. We're actually getting to the point now. It's like every summer there's, like fucking 30 shark bites every summer or something. Yeah, I think we're getting a lot more variety in shark species as, like, global water temperatures warm and stuff. I think we're just starting to see, like, more and more fucking sharks that are more likely to bite people out of, curiosity or whatnot. Or there's just more and more sharks. Like, there's just more brown sharks that are just, taking a bite out of someone's leg thinking it's a bunker or something. I don't know. But nowadays I'm like, okay, there's a lot of people getting bit by sharks on Long Island. So I used to be like, and then I got over it. I'm like, you're not going to get bit by a shark. I used to say, if you get bit by a shark on Long Island, you're going to end up on News 12 and you're going to get free pizza from the local pizzeria for, like, at least a year. Right? You'd be like, you're the dude that got bit by the freaking shark. But nowadays, I think you're not. It happens too often. I think you're gonna have to lose a leg to get free pizza, and that's too much for me. I can't. That's too much for me. I will say though, there's a really great channel, Shark Bites, which is pretty ironic, but I think it's BYTES. He's a marine biologist, and I've actually learned a ton. And especially, like, certain areas, like certain places in the world are very dangerous to swim, like the Red Sea and stuff off Egypt with bull and tiger sharks and stuff. But certain places, but the number one way you can avoid ever getting bitten by a shark is generally never swimming alone. As long as someone else is in the, like, vicinity semi close to you, sharks. And it's funny, I've shark fished, particularly with a fly. A shark will never, like, eat a fly head on or something. Like, it will never attack a fly from where the vision of the eyes on the fly are, for instance. Like, it thinks it's a fish, right? So it won't attack from the front. It always attacks from behind. Like, whenever you see a shark go for a bait or go for something, because you can have a bait coming crosswise at it, but they won't try and bite it a lot of times. It's pretty interesting. Like, if they're thinking, it's one thing, I guess, if it's a piece of bait, but if it's like a fly or it's like a lure, it's the live bait or, certain things, you'll see them when they're just, like, stalking, they always approach from behind because they know where something's vision is, and that's just how they innately are trained to hunt, So as long as you swim in, like, if you're swimming in a place that might be dangerous with sharks, as long as you swim with other people, then that's like 95% of the thing to avoid getting bit by a shark. But I thought that was interesting. You know what I mean? It kind of makes sense, but it was interesting to learn as he explained more in depth about it, So just something I want to bring. You ever find yourself like, I'm going to go swimming off Egypt in the Red Sea somewhere off this resort, and they're, like, throwing dead sheep off these shipping containers in the water or something? I think it was like a Russian tourist, but there was, like, this I didn't watch the video. He said you might not want to watch it. I was like, I'm not watching this. But there was one like crazy thing that happened like a year or two ago in Egypt. It kept multiple cases, but they found out they were like dumping dead lambs that were dying, you know, during shipping on boats. They were like just throwing them in the water right off the coast. And there's all these resorts on the Red Sea, and all these resort swimmers were getting like attacked by tiger sharks. They're like, what the hell is going on? There's also like places in the world where they do like meat processing, and they just dump all the blood into the water and it flows out into the bay. Those are like the places where it's like crazy shark attack numbers and stuff, because you're swimming in like a feeding ground essentially. You know what I mean? It's not the shark's fault essentially. But it was really interesting. I'm like, okay, so don't go swimming there. Because I've swam out in the middle of the Mediterranean, like surrounded by, you know, or like where there's definitely sharks and definitely shark bites and stuff. Like I've swam in some pretty precarious places, but for the most part, you're okay. You know what I mean? Trying to find some darker hackle that's wide enough to wrap here. Oh, what about Chinese saddle hackle, huh? Do I have any easily on hand? Not necessarily. I have this really nice stiff hackle, which I don't want to use. Alright, we gotta finish this fly, because if you guys listen to this song enough, you're gonna hate it before I ever get to play it live and all that. I will go with olive and tan, though. I think... oh, here we go. No, this is all really nice. American Whiting Rooster. I'm not using that to Palmer. We'll use tan, gray, and olive. The one time I had a 6-foot brown shark attack my fly, it was from behind. He closed his eyes and missed it. Yeah, they close their eyes as well because they don't want to damage their eyes. It's really different when you can like sit on your boat and observe a shark like going for a bait or going for a fly, because it's a whole nother thing if they're like out there naturally hunting. But when you can kind of, it's almost like a semi-controlled environment, and how you're observing them and you're putting them in the situation to observe them or try and eat the fly and stuff. So it's very interesting to see how they're like they react and stuff. I don't know, it's cool. Sharks are really cool. They're one of my favorite fish in general. They're fish types, species, whatever, you know, whatever. Not species, but I do love sharks. They're one of my favorite types of animals in general. Specific type of fish. It's pretty ironic, super scared of Jaws and all that, but I think also Jaws, the like creator of Jaws said like that movie did so much damage to sharks. Such a shame, because it terrified everybody. But in reality, I mean, sharks are a completely vital part of our ecosystem and ecology. Yeah, they're just such cool creatures. We barely caught any sharks, but most of the time we just spent our time spending a bunch of money on chum just to watch sharks, and it was a lot of cool. Was very cool. I think if you get a drone, you just fly on the beaches nowadays during the summertime. It's crazy how many sharks you see. What the fuck was that? It was like an M80 went off, or somebody just shot a shotgun down the road. Holy shit. Did you guys hear that through the mic? Probably not, because there's like music and I'm talking. But did you hear that? There was like a fucking explosion went off down the road. That was like either a gigantic firework that's not like a firework that shoots up in the sky, it's like a bomb firework, or that was like a gun or something just went off, or some like a transformer exploded. It was so loud. I don't think you could hear it through my microphone. Holy fuck, what the fuck was that, dude? Like shrapnel hitting my wall or something? Like a Shahed drone or something just landed. Nah, it was probably like some firework thing or something. I've never experienced it, but after watching videos, I think if it was some sort of massive explosion, it's crazy how like actual explosives, how much it like shockwaves and stuff. I think you would know if it was an actual explosion. It's a little different than the movies. So we got a little tan, a little olive, and then I'll finish it off with a tiny bit of gray. Because why not? Just for fun. I love this little riff loop though. It's simple. It goes from like E minor or E, and you just move over from the, it's like open chords too, so you just move over from the first and second fret to the third and, or second and third fret. I don't even know what fucking chord it is. But you'll see, eventually we're gonna start doing some live guitar again. Make a fool of myself like we used to on Twitch. On Saturdays, or I don't know what day we'll do it, but broke the hackle. Luckily I pinched it so I can tie it. My dad does these like this Turkish scale. I don't know, I can't even, it is a Turkish scale, or I don't know if it officially is a Turkish scale, but it's like a Middle East sounding scale. And I didn't realize, but I looked it up, there actually is like a Persian scale. There's like a Bulgarian scale, a Hungarian scale. I didn't realize there was all these music scales based off of the origin of country, or the country's origin. Because I know there's like Mixolydian, Dilotian, whatever, you know. If you're any music guys out here, or any music people. But I was like, oh shit, there actually is a Turkish scale. It might be it, I don't know. It sounds it. That's because in Western music, we have a set amount of like general notes that we use, or defined notes, and in Eastern music, you'll have notes in between notes that we have in our Western music, and that's where you get different sounds. Your dad reloaded shotgun shells every night, so I had access to gunpowder. Blew a lot of stuff up, like model airplanes and boats. Nice. How much shotgun shells was he going duck hunting like every day or something? You really like shooting shotguns. I know reloading brass. I've never I didn't realize. I guess you could, I guess you just, do you reload them or do you just make your own shotgun shells? Because can you reuse the cartridge? Professional sharpshooter. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, me and my buddy Rev, who's on, Rev is my buddy who helps me film the battle reports on Mike Rolls Dice. We used to go to the range. We'd bring like $200 worth of clays and shotgun ammo. And we would pay $20 and we'd be like, all right, we're paying $20. We're going to sit here and shoot shotguns for like 6 hours or 8 hours. We did it once for my birthday. And then for another time, but we literally sat there and shot skeet or whatever, or clay for, I'm not even joking, for like, from like the moment they opened to the moment they closed. Because this is like a range on Long Island. There's a range called the Calverton Range or whatever. Like, let's just say every other gun range in America is like, all right, do this, do that, you know, and there's like the gun safety guy or the range officer. This place is kind of like the Wild West. All right, I've seen some shit. I've seen somebody bring a bowling ball out there and like shoot it with a 50 cal. Okay, because there's this big sand range. So it's kind of, you do need to follow the rules, but the people who run it, it's like a different, it's like, that's the only range I've like ever been to. So then when I went to a regular range, they're like, it's like it was like I was like, oh, this place sucks. Don't get me wrong, everyone's like, you still need to know gun safety and this and that, and you can't be like spamming rounds. You can't be like, you know, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, what do you call it? It was just like, this vibe of this range is so different than all the other ranges that I know about. So it was just so funny to like, I went to like a regular range. And there's like the ego fucking guy running the place. Hey, no shooting too fast. You're like this with like an AR. You're like, pop, pop. Hey, hey, hey! Don't shoot too fast over there, all right? Like, what do you want me to shoot 1 round every 45 seconds? What the hell is this? Meanwhile, at the other place, it's like some dude laying down on the ground with like a Barrett, and he's shooting it, and everyone else in the range is like, "Oh my God, Jesus Christ!" Like getting like a shockwave. You won't go there? What, to the Calverton? I haven't been there in years, but there was somebody, I had to stop somebody from, let me tell you this. All right, that's the fly, by the way. We're wrapping things up, but here's my range story from Calverton. So they call ceasefire. You're supposed to take mag out, okay, if it's got a mag, bolt open, right? And the gun's sitting not on the table, but vertically with barrel up. There's like a lean post. Those are the rules. People are down. I already got my target changed with my little stapler. Right? I walked back. We're at the like 100-yard range side, and then there's like a 200-yard. There's the long range one. But we like to go in that far corner. So I'm waiting, and my buddy's down there. A bunch of people are changing their stuff. I came back. Some jackass pulls up in like an Audi with like tight pants. Okay, you could just tell immediately. I'm like, this guy, who the fuck's this guy, right? This guy whips out a case, pulls out an AR, and he fucking starts. I'm not even joking. Like, everyone's down there changing their targets. I'm the only one back, right? He whips out a fucking AR, all right? Puts a mag in it, and it's like pulling back the bolt or pulling back the charging handle. And he's like, I think he actually charged it or something. He's like raising it to shoot while there's people downrange, but they were like 25 feet to the left or 50 feet to the left or some shit. I've never yelled so fucking loud and fast at this dude. In a second, I started screaming at this fucking guy, and I started like laying into him. Some grown-ass adult. I'm like 19, 20, whatever, how many years old. It's been years since I've gone there. And I got the range officer over, and he fucking ate this dude, and they kicked him right out or whatever. But I literally watched this dude pull out an AR, load it, like pull the fucking, I'm pretty certain he pulled the bolt back or whatever, but he was like raising it, about to shoot, while like my buddy's downrange, and like everybody's downrange. I was the only person uprange. They do monitor you. Was just going to mention ceasefire rules. Oh yeah. No, Calverton is a range, but I'm just saying, like, I've seen people do some crazy shit there. You know what I mean? So, but God, what do you call it? I'll never forget that. Like, I was like, how this guy thought that was an appropriate thing to do. Like, even think to fire the gun when there's people downrange, even though they're like a little bit off to the side or something. It just blew my mind. And this guy was driving like $100,000 Audi or something. Like, how the fuck's this guy getting all this money? He doesn't have common sense. But that's the thing, though. That's why gun safety is important. People need to, like, learn basic gun safety, okay? It's very important. You don't hand a person a gun unless you always make sure it's unloaded, this, that. Everyone needs to learn the right way, you know? It's very important. That's the thing. So that dude bought that gun. Nobody taught him all that stuff. Nobody taught him. And the person that teaches you, they need to teach you with a fucking firm face. Like at a store when you buy it, like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Look, it's empty. Here you go. And that could be the first time you ever handle one or something like that. They need to teach you right off the bat, you know, be serious about it. So I took a hunting class. So I took gun safety class. I've taken bow hunting classes with like former FBI instructors and shit. So like it's different, but technically you could just kind of, some jackass can just go buy one, but which I'm all for. You should be able to own a gun and whatnot, but yeah, there's just a lot of idiots. That's the bad thing, you know. So, but anyway, that was my story, and but it was cool. They let me lay in the ground. I was like, you know what? Fuck this dude. I have a whatever, and I have a nice EOTech on it, and I'm like, all right, I want to lay in the fucking dirt and shoot this thing, dude. You know, I play Tarkov, I play DayZ. I've never shot prone. And most places, it's like, you know, not that sort of thing. I asked the range instructor, I'm like, hey, I just want to try shooting prone in the sand right here because you can I do that? He's like, yeah, go for it. I was like, fuck yeah, let's go. A lot of places, they're like super, super like, you know, I don't know. It's like a fucking club, you know, little dick club or something. But this place is different. I don't know, it was cool. I don't go shooting anymore though because ammunition. Let's just say I'm not rich. Like we used to go, we would buy $300 worth of 223, and like me and like four buddies, and we would go and shoot all like 800 rounds or something, you know. But yeah, that stuff, especially ammunition's so expensive and stuff. It's just in general, it's like it's an expensive hobby, you know. It's probably cheaper compared to fly tying half the time, but I just can't like. Me and my buddy, we'd rather film tabletop war games on Sunday than spend like $150 in ammunition. You know what I mean? How's it going, Barfy? I hope you're doing well, dude. All right, chat. Well, there we go. Hey, and we broke the 3-hour mark. Skirt, skirt. Let's go. We whipped up some flies. We got sand fleas, mole crab stuff, flat wings. We did it all. Chit chat. Talked about explosions. You gotta do hundreds and hundreds of hours before you can drive a car by yourself. Yeah, you can walk in and buy a gun. Yeah, well, you know, I think if, what do you call it? I don't know. I'm a big Second Amendment dude, so it's like hard. You can, because we don't got to get into that though, because that's politics. We don't talk about all that. So, on one hand, it's like, yeah, you don't want idiots to have it, you know, but it's a dangerous. I don't know. It's fine. We don't got to talk about it. I live in New York anyway, so we don't have any rights here at all. I think you can have a like a gun, but you like can't take the mag out. It has to be glued. It can't have any sort of accessories on it. It has to have a stock that looks like a pretzel. So yeah, we're more like shotguns in New York, unfortunately. But what do you call it? That's okay. I will say though, God, I guarantee you, if you take somebody that hates guns and you just go with your buddies down to the range and you just go shoot some AKs and ARs, it will change your life. That's some of the most fun I've ever had with my friends, is just going to the range for somebody's birthday and just hanging out and like shooting like thousands of rounds. It's something about it, dude. Something about it. It's so much fun, but it's just so goddamn expensive. It's just like a luxury thing, you know? Let's just go make a bunch of gunpowder, push a piece of lead out of this barrel for over and over again. But God, it's so much fun. So good. I mean, it's been a while. It's a good time. Yeah, you live in Australia, so you gotta watch out. You might make a Facebook post and they'll show up. 9mm and 22, yeah. That is nice. Shooting rifles gets expensive. My buddy bought a 308, and he realized how much money he had. He's like, oh, let's shoot this 308 at the range. And then he's like, wait, how much is ammunition? So imagine you have a 338 Lopua or something, you know, or like a 50 cal. They're spending like crazy money per bullet, you know what I mean? So it's more of a luxury thing, you know what I mean? For sure. But that's all right. What do you call it? I don't drift anymore because drifting's too expensive and cars are too expensive. Don't go shooting anymore because that's too expensive. And what else is another thing I stopped doing because it's just too much money? Stop using my boat. You know what I mean? Oh, 9mm AR. Yeah, that's cool. We can't... we're so restricted here in New York. You can't essentially have really any AR. It's very hard to find one that's New York compliant, so you can't really get any cool ones, unfortunately. They might sell a New York compliant 9mm AR, but I don't know. It's fine. I don't really care about guns that much anymore. It's just fun. I'm just too busy to do. It's the problem. I have so many hobbies. Making music, playing guitar, miniature painting, recording battle reports, fly tying, fly fishing, making fly tying, fly fishing videos. There's like so many different things, like some gaming stuff I like doing, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm going to check the Discord here in a sec. So we're about to end anyway. I was just wrapping things up. do a quick little run through on the fly tying section because I saw Zeke as well posted something. So this is what we tied. You saw these. We tied these. I tied most of these off stream, but we tied a couple last week. You can check out that VOD. Even though these are just shady ladies, they're nice jumbo ones. I should make a video on these at some point because they're fucking like, they're essentially like tuna flies. They're like crazy ass flies. Oh yeah, Barfy, very nice. I saw these. I saw you said you were still learning too, man. These are great. Nice sort of backwoods fly. Kind of like shrimpy looking thing in general practitioner colors. Little kinky muddler. Very nice. I mean, dude, you're doing good for early on. Most people that would try and do a kinky muddler early on, it would look like shit. Because it's harder to get V-ties consistent. And this looks sick. Great Alflexo. So we got Yumi posting for Calvin. Calvin, very nice. Anchovies. Oh yeah, very nice. Beautiful looking Albie fly too. Just got to make sure it doesn't foul, but it's so short that you should be good with the short shank. No, great job, RV. Very good. We got some nice, this is essentially kind of what we were tying, the soft hackle, so it's pretty funny. I kind of did this by accident. I probably saw your photo and subconsciously motivated me to tie something like this, Calvin, tonight. Probably. That's probably what happened. Yeah, nice. They're Abram style flies. These are kind of like mixing like traditional wet flies and soft hackle flies with modern day, or with salt flies, you know? That's what I love about them so much. Ooh, Ely Gurglers. These are interesting. Never seen this. How they work, Calvin? You fish them or what? Are you just testing them out? It's a shank in the front with a gurgler head and sand eel thing? That's kind of interesting. Huh. It's kind of funky. Hardest part I found is knowing what materials to buy and what you can use them for. Yeah. But don't feel like, for instance, like this rabbit strip, you're gonna use it for tails and stuff. But like, don't. I think you're going about it the right way. Don't get too restricted. Like this sort of stuff. I don't know if there's a dubbing brush or something like that, or like some sort of synthetic materials. Like you can V-tie it. You can do all sorts of stuff with it. I guess it's just a matter of learning what you can do with it, right? But you're doing it right. Sometimes people get like, they're like, I bought this material and I use it in this fly or this fly, but you can use it for so many different ways, you know what I mean? You could just think of it as a tail material, let's say. These are very nice too. Nice flat wings. Oh yeah, very nice. I gotta get some peacock curl. I think I'm out. Can you attempt a lobster fly? Yeah, we'll do that at some point. We're not doing it tonight because we're gonna wrap the stream up now. We've been streaming for 3 hours, but we'll probably do a video covering a lobster fly. There's a couple different lobster flies that are really cool. Not that I fish lobster flies. There are some areas on Long Island that I think do have lobsters technically, but I don't necessarily have rocky areas with lobsters in my area. But that being said, we could definitely make a video on it at some point. So I want to show this Masters on the Fly. If you guys aren't watching Masters on the Fly, what do you call it? You definitely should, because it's like a live fly. It's a live like podcast type program, if you will, or show where they have like Henry Cowan, Nick Curcione, David Nelson, all these amazing fly tyers and people that like I've been reading their stuff or looked up to since I was a kid. Excuse me. That what do you call it? Get featured on there, and it's like a cool podcast sort of thing. So yeah, Brad Buzzy, for instance. So I think they have Nick Vallejos from Sandbar Flies. So make sure you guys check this one out. Yep, Sadati and all that. Sadati has a lobster fly, right? Or is that what you're talking about? There's a couple, or are you talking about for Masters on the Fly or whatever? I'm trying to think. I'm from this you mentioned the lobster, and specifically, that's why I said Saudade. In the Innovative Saltwater Flies book from the 90s, there's like, I know one lobster fly I always wanted to tie. I don't know. I'll do a little research. I don't think it was Saudade, but. Yep, Gunnar Brammer. What's going on, Tyler? You just making a fly? Nice. What are you tying? All right, chat. Well, let's look at one more thing, the fish picture room, just in case, but I don't think we missed anything. Yeah, we're all caught up. There's my George Washington. Hell yeah. I think it's like the best defense or something. I forgot. It was like something about we got to make sure the Brits never come back because we'll fuck them up. Something like that. Badass. How American is that, though? George Washington with a Colt 1911 in his hand. Jeez. What you say? Pop a cap in your ass, fool. All right, chat. Well, thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. You folks are awesome. Check out the new Masters on the Fly episode whenever it comes out. What fly do you think will catch them? What fly do you think that'll catch largemouth bass? Woolly bugger. Woolly bugger is the most effective fly in general in the world, probably. Deceivers, crayfish fly, dude, largemouth bass are not picky. It's about putting it in their face and fishing it right a lot of times. So, but there's a ton of different stuff. A lot of the stuff we tie on the channel you can use for largemouth as well. You don't have to think of traditional largemouth bass lures. You know what I mean? Do mix war eras? What do you call it? We've done a battle report where it's 40k orcs versus World War II humans. That was the most popular video I've done. People love that sort of shit. So who knows? We might end up doing George Washington and his boys versus, freaking World War II guys or 40k guys, Space Marines one day. Who knows? What color, anyways? Again, color. I mean, for largemouth bass, I generally keep it pretty simple. I fish like olives and oranges and stuff, but again, colors don't even matter that much. Use light colors for the lighter time in the day, dark colors for the darker time in the day. That's the number one rule. Okay? What I recommend, we're about to end the stream, go check out the philosophy of choosing the right fly. It's on my channel. It's a video in the first series of fly fishing for striped bass, but it's just a basic idea of picking the right fly for saltwater or freshwater, this style of fishing with streamers and stuff. A lot of it has to do with presentation is the most important thing. Put it in the right spot. Next thing, and fishing in the right way. It doesn't matter what color and this and that. Next thing is your overall length and shape and size, the profile. Okay? The last thing that's important is the color. And it's lighter colors during the day, darker colors at night. Okay? So, anyways, chat, we're going to wrap it up. It's getting late here. It's fucking hot as hell. We made Keith more than happy. In fact, I'm ending stream 20 minutes earlier next Friday because we went over. Okay? Get wrecked. No, we're not. We're going to do it. Don't forget, next week is our giveaway stream because we're doing it now on Twitch and YouTube via the chat. So make sure to tune in next week. And yeah. But chat, thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. We will have some more YouTube videos coming out at some point. Like I said, I just want to make sure I have them kind of ready and good to go, and then I'll start pumping them out. So the loon kind, no, I don't use loon. I use Solarez. Solarez is the number one. This is what I recommend. I've had issues with loon and it yellowing in the past. I recommend Solarez, or you can go on Amazon and get a cheap bottle of resin and try that, because a lot of folks in our community do it. Oh, okay. Very nice. Is that a barramundi? Is that what that is? Is that a barramundi? Or is that... No, is that a Murray cod? Is that a Murray cod? I always forget. These damn Aussies and their cool freshwater fishing, that's badass. Is that a Murray cod? Oh, it is a barramundi. It is a barramundi. Okay. Murray cod are different. I know a little bit about Australian fishing. All right, chat. Well, thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you folks have an awesome night. All right, you guys take it easy. Have an awesome weekend. All right. Loon is okay. I just personally don't use it, and I had an issue where 50 surf candies turned yellow, and I lost hundreds of dollars from a fly order. So doesn't mean it. I'm just letting you know. I use Solarez, and I don't recommend Loon. That's just my personal thing. It's probably fine, but if you ask me, I specifically don't use Loon for that exact reason. So, anyways, chat, you guys take it easy. Have an awesome night. Tyler, Barfy, Jim, Calvin, Zeke, everybody, thanks for handing out, and everyone handing out on Twitch as well. You folks have an awesome night, and you guys take it easy, all right? We'll see ya.